This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning, everyone. Time to do this again.
Yeah.
And again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
There we go.
Your boy Christy's going to speak today, I say.
My boy Christy.
Your boy Christy.
I remember him being my boy.
What's he doing, man?
But,
why is he so silent?
I think he's disgusted with the whole thing. I mean, the bridge thing, they've tried and tried to tie it to him.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to. But they just keep on it. You know? So I guess he's like, leave me alone kind of a thing. I'm not addressing it anymore, he says.
So he should just, start making his public appearances again. I know he's made a few here and there, but
yeah.
He used to be front and center, talking almost every day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was. But I guess he's talking about something, CPAC. I don't know.
What's the CPAC?
It's a shit.
All right, good.
I know what a Z-Pack is. Z-Pack is.
What's the explosive interview with Pope Francis? Do we have that story yet?
Yeah, he admitted he's an atheist.
Oh, all right.
That'd be
Really shocking.
Oh, okay.
groundbreaking.
He's a fan of this radio show.
Oh, all right. Thank you to Pope Francis.
Cat porn.
Yeah, no, he just likes really racist jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that too.
That's what it
His
is.
favorite movie is Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. It really blew the doors off the place when he said that.
Oh, Pope hints at greater role for women.
Oh, yeah?
So,
You're not allowed to, let the women have anything in the church.
Quite the progressive pope, this guy.
I like this guy.
Yeah, he's a good pope, I guess.
He's,
For whatever the pope is.
yeah, what are you going to do?
I think it was a tactical move. They saw that Pope Benedict had zero good imaging. He just looked creepy and all pomp and circumstance.
He really was a ghoul.
That was the worst.
He looked great in ruby red shoes, though.
Oh, see, with those red shoes.
Ruby red shoes.
That was so creepy.
Like Queen.
Yeah, Queen.
Who would do that?
I don't know. It was pretty bad, though.
And why is this Russian broad quitting on live TV? What's going on? This weird stuff today.
Is it over the Ukrainian shit?
And why is that dude interviewing Mick Jagger? Oh, my God. A lot of questions we got to answer today.
All kinds of things going on when you don't have sound
I know.
on the TV. You just see the pictures. You're like, what could that possibly be?
Who knows?
What are they chit-chatting about?
And why is Fez crying? I mean,
Oh,
a lot
no.
of questions to be answered today.
I bet I know one reason. Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts?
I'm sure Sam Roberts, instigator extraordinaire,
Right.
was involved in some way, shape, or form.
Sam, it's very obvious to everyone if you quit, hopefully now, Fez will be better immediately.
Yeah.
Is that what?
It's very obvious.
Is
yes.
that? Are they talking shit about me down the hall? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Very obvious. If you just quit, everything will be better with Fez.
Oh,
That's what happens with those people.
maybe I need to do the right thing. Maybe it's
Yeah.
been me the whole time.
Probably is.
I would bank on that.
How would you feel if you quit and the next day stock was $7 a share?
Oh,
How is the stock? Is it good?
Yeah,
All right.
much of these guys can drive you nuts. It was a nickel at one point, and now it's three, It was up to 4 something at one point.
Creeping up.
It's going good.
I probably should have bought some shares when it was 5
not
cents.
a nickel.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, you know what? And then it would have went down to 2 cents. It's just I hate that shit.
Yeah. I gave up after Citadel.
I know, that was really a
Now I just
crushing moment.
now I have some basic investments.
Right.
Screw that all-in shit.
Leave it to the professionals.
It's nice to know you can laugh at losing $115,000 like it's nothing.
Terrible.
It's not nothing, obviously. It's a lot of fucking money. Holy
Awful.
crap.
It's down to 355.
355? Just
Down
because you
to
talked about it, right?
Yeah, it's. I bought one share at 15 cents. I got
Ooh.
my one share portfolio. I go in there. I just
Share.
watching it grow.
Nice. We got a lot of people coming in today. We got Rich Vos, and is Bobby coming in too? And Bob Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Neil deGrasse Tyson coming in today. His new show, Cosmos, I saw the first episode. Very good.
He's great, right?
Yeah, man. They put a lot of money into this show, production-wise.
Yeah.
And Neil just knows how to talk.
Yeah.
And he also knows how to walk out of frame dramatically.
Oh, does he do that little walk out of frame
I might
thing?
have to make fun of him. He did it He did it
Pretty
3 or
good.
4 times in the first episode. Makes that an incredible point, and then dramatically walks out of frame.
Turns and walks.
then all you see is like the cosmos in the background.
That's good.
What I like, though, he's starting from the beginning, which is nice, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, like what?
Before
Big
he
Bang?
gets into some crazy stuff. Yeah, you know, where we are in the universe and stuff.
Yeah.
And just reminds us how ridiculously insignificant and tiny we are.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, we're pretty tiny there.
We're just
insignificant.
we're barely a piece of dust in the world.
Yeah.
If the universe was the world,
Yeah.
I don't even think you could put it down to scale where we're just a piece of dust.
Yeah.
Earth is a piece of dust, and I mean, yeah, Earth is a piece of dust, but the actual Earth is the universe. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not even that.
Yeah.
It's not even that.
You'd need more room.
Way more room. Way more room. And then we just sit here and beat the shit out of each other. Then you turn on. I watch Cosmos, and then I turned on the news with the Ukraine and Russia and everything else going on. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing to each other?
We're just like bacteria.
It's pathetic.
It's like watching the new. If cancer had news,
Right,
and they're
yeah.
saying the 2 cells were fighting over.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's so obvious that we really should try to figure out how to get along.
We make awesome phones. Now that's pretty much
so
it.
dumb.
He made a great point. It stuck with me. Remember when he was in, he said about life forms, like the next closest thing to us is apes. And the average, like, 3-year-old or 2-year-old is as smart as the smartest ape.
Right.
Imagine if the next life form was just that much, was one click above us.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like their 2- and 3-year-olds were as smart as the smartest of us,
Right.
how advanced they are. And I've
Yeah.
been thinking about, like, how smart that was of him to say, and like, fuck, man, there really could be a lot brighter things out there.
Yeah.
Well, our
that
brains-
wouldn't even acknowledge us.
Our brains just suck
Yeah.
because none of us could understand the concept of infinity.
No, it's very hard.
But it's a real concept, but our dumb brains can't really figure that out.
No, we need an ending.
Because then we're like, okay, it has to end. And then you think, well, what's on the other side of the ending?
There's no
You know what I mean?
infinite space.
Yeah, we can't even understand that concept yet as humans.
But Brian Greene was great because he said, like, we didn't need to know that. Like, it's like when you're worried about a saber-toothed tiger attacking you,
Right.
it doesn't matter what a black hole is doing.
Yeah, who cares?
You just kind of need to know what you need to know to survive.
He was throwing numbers around like it was nothing, Neil, on this new show, Cosmos.
Big numbers.
He either said millions or billions, and it's like, whatever.
Same
He
thing.
was talking about how there's millions or billions, I forgot at this point, of planets that are just in pitch darkness
Yeah.
that we didn't even see for many years.
Yeah.
And we can now see with the infrared. Just millions or billions of these planets
Just sitting there frozen.
frozen
Pitch black.
in complete and utter darkness.
Just go there with a flashlight.
Yeah.
That's why school was a
around.
waste of time. We didn't learn this when we were growing up. We learned there were, 3 planets, I think, maybe?
3. I remember 9.
Yeah.
Was it always 9?
I remember 9 with Pluto, but
But they
now
were convinced
apparently-
that's all there was out there.
But now apparently Pluto isn't a planet. So.
No.
Yeah. If it's round and it's in the sky like that, it's a planet. I mean, stop.
Yeah.
What's the difference, really?
Pluto's a cuckold moon to
It really is.
Uranus, Neptune.
It doesn't know what it is, right?
Sitting there in the corner.
Is it a moon? Is it a planet? And shouldn't
Yeah.
the moon just be a planet? Screw
It's
it.
like a planetoid.
Yeah. What?
Something. Planetoid.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't fit the criteria for a planet anymore.
Our criteria.
Yeah. You know.
All that is up there, so just call it all
Yeah.
planets.
It's not big enough. Its orbit is a little fucking wacky.
But really good show. Very
I
easy
love
to
those,
follow, which is nice, because that astronomy could fucking blow your mind after a while.
Yeah, they've gotten really good with the graphics and stuff and kind of making it easy to explain that way instead of some guy just rambling on.
Right.
See, I like just to see numbers on the screen. That's how you teach kids.
You like that?
Just with numbers.
Numbers scrolling on a screen?
Yes, with decimal points where they need to be.
Some guy yelling at you to understand it?
Somebody was telling me about the guy who memorized pi to like 1,000 digits or something. Like, you know, pi, they say 3.14 goes on
Yeah,
for
yeah.
however long. And I forget how long. These guys are like autistic. And he's one of those guys that just, I guess his mind just latched onto that fucking thing.
You're right.
It goes on. It goes on forever, right?
Yeah, I don't get
Yeah.
that.
I think it just keeps going and going and going and going. And they have contests to see who could go the furthest with remembering it or
Wow,
something.
I'd like to be in the audience for that one.
That's exciting, right?
Yeah.
I have
World
been.
record
It's,
is 67,890 digits.
Memorized.
That was a Chinese guy in 2005.
67,000?
Yes.
Right.
So let's try it now, man. 3.14.
I'm out.
I'm gonna go with 2 next.
That's 1-1.
3.14.
I just like the 1
2
4. Fine by me.
7
You're already wrong.
5
What is it?
3.141.
I said 1.
1
Yeah.
9
You were right. You're smart.
9.
Yeah.
There's a 9 in there eventually.
Imagine if there were no 9s. 67,000.
67,000. That guy just rattled them off. 74.
Like one guy who we talked about, who I don't know who he is, he said he memorizes that stuff like he pictures it in a weird way, like as musical stuff, or he sees it as like planes.
I see it as dead hookers.
I'm counting their toes. But it's some weird way, like Darrell Hammond sees his impressions in colors. Yeah, these weird
colors. Green, blue, red.
He practiced for 4 years.
He practiced that?
And then his attempt, which was successful, lasted 24 hours, 4 minutes, and was recorded on 26 videotapes.
Did he record it?
Yeah, but it was also witnessed by 8 officials from Guinness.
Oh, they were there. Okay.
That's a guy
Guinness.
that's a guy that just doesn't get laid.
No. There's no time for any of that vagina.
Did you go to the
Pesky
bathroom?
vagina.
Did he go to the
I
bathroom?
don't know. Doesn't say.
Like, is there a pause? Could you pause for a minute?
I bet you could.
I don't.
No, because maybe you could
Lose your
cheat in the
place?
bathroom.
Well, no, they like with chess championships, they would make sure that there was no computers in your. They probably do the same thing, like they make sure your
Yeah.
bathroom's got nothing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it
but
probably
again,
would
like-
wreck his rhythm, so he probably would just pee in his pants.
He's just pissing, trying to remember his place.
What?
I'm at 5.
Right. No, there's no way he
Don't
took a break.
forget.
You get that brain going, and you got to keep that that rhythm going.
24
Unless he
hours,
memorized
that's
it in patterns, like where the break comes at say 3 hours,
Right.
And then
Yeah.
maybe he starts and 5 and 2 and 1. He sings it to himself.
Find out if he peed his pants.
Yeah, please, we'd love to know that.
I think you could
Sitting
keep your
there.
poop at bay.
24
hours. I think you can.
You could hold this shit in for 24 hours.
You can't,
Unless you got the old leg wobbling need to.
Oh, when everything just starts
Where
shivering.
all you can think about,
Everything starts shivering.
is going to the bathroom. That's all that your mind is occupied with.
Yeah.
Wow, it really does just completely cancel out everything else of importance in your life.
Absolutely.
My friend Jim said the best. He said it's that telltale heaviness in your lower
Oh,
back,
yeah.
and that was the
Ooh.
best description I've ever heard of it.
It is.
A heaviness.
Heaviness.
I love thinking about really famous people shitting.
They just
It
have
makes me
to.
happy.
Just sitting on the bowl.
Like within the next hour or so, Obama is going to be taking a big
think?
shit somewhere.
Yeah,
What do you
on
mean?
the, on the
think?
American people. Right over the Constitution.
You're welcome for the setup. It's not where I was going with that, but
Well,
yeah, like the Queen Mum
yeah. Oh.
somewhere is about to take her dump.
Yeah,
Just
they
makes
all do it.
Just makes me happy to think that.
All those glamorous women on the red carpet for the
Oh,
Oscars,
yeah.
just sitting there, fucking cutting one off.
You know they're squeezing out just little spaghetti dumps, though.
Oh, yeah, they barely eat.
They can barely squeeze anything out of them.
Little salad dumps, little rabbit pellets.
Right. And you know, a few of those starlets before the red carpet were absolutely in a bathtub with an enema with their legs up in the air.
You think they were cleaning out?
Yeah, getting rid of poo weight so they look good on the red carpet.
Jesus.
I would bet a lot of money.
Yeah.
Some very famous actresses especially were doing that.
I bet the skinny ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fat ones don't care.
Let's say hi to John in Long Island. First call of the day. My God, John, what do you got?
Well, I wanted to defend the movie Her.
Why?
From yesterday.
Why do you need to defend that?
Well, everything that you were asking Stan yesterday, it does get addressed in the movie.
All right, but we were just trying to go for some jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, you were just trying to go for some jokes? Well, I was going to say that the movie's actually really fucking good, and if you guys actually give it a chance, that actually...
White Knight for the movie.
Yeah, that actually you guys would like it, especially Jim Norton.
You do. Do you understand how a radio show works at all? I just need. I need to ask that.
I don't understand how a radio show is.
That's all right.
We just decided that maybe this would be a silly concept.
Yeah.
That we can make some jokes.
That. I mean,
I'll probably end up seeing the movie someday, and maybe I'll even like it. I don't know.
No, I figured that. That's why I just wanted to bring your attention to it. I thought that Sam just didn't give it justice. As though,
well, Sam's an idiot.
Sam didn't need to give it justice. The Academy gave it justice. Everyone knows that it's considered.
That's a lot, though.
Everyone knows it's considered a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to Ant's point, I am an idiot.
Yeah.
What was the biggest problem you had with our bit yesterday?
I didn't have a problem with it. I just wanted you guys to actually give it a chance. You're calling it a fag just like because you didn't even pay attention to it.
Wow, this guy's reprimanding us.
He's right.
Do you talk to your...
I'm not reprimanding you, no.
Oh.
Hey, raise your voice. Hey, easy there. You're bullying, sir.
I'm not bullying.
Stop your bullying.
Why?
Now you're denying it.
Why was her a good movie? Go ahead.
It was amazing. It's one of those movies that you can watch over and over and pick up little things. Like, it takes place in the future, but it doesn't tell you exactly when. Ooh. And
spaceships?
I gotta tell you, nothing worse than seeing a movie over and over again. As a parent of an almost 4-year-old, trust me, there's nothing fun about seeing movies over and over again.
You don't discover new things every time?
Oh, God, no.
You see it over and over again. You can see it over and over again.
Oh.
How many times have you seen it, sir?
That movie.
Yeah, how many times have you seen it?
This is Joaquin, by the way.
Yeah.
Have I seen it? I've seen it 3 times.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
So that's just over and over again. You saw it once, and you saw it over, and then over again.
It's too new to watch that many times.
Exactly.
This movie talks to this guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it talks to me, exactly.
No, I'm being serious. Why would you go see the movie 3
you
times?
can relate to the movie a lot because it's like relationships and stuff. But the thing is, the whole concept is that he doesn't try to, he gets the OS, the operating system in the beginning, not as a relationship, but he ends up falling in love with it because it ends up being better than his relationships that he tries to go for.
Don't tell me the ending, sir. You've convinced me.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Really,
Don't spoil it.
Okay, well, you're going to talk me down the whole time, but I really think...
Oh, wow, now he's paranoid.
Oh, no.
Do you want me to send you copies? I'll send you copies.
I certainly do, sir, but no address will be given. No copies had been sent.
I'll figure it out.
It was.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, the knife is plunged into me. Here's your copy of her, and he sticks it to me in my chest.
Exactly.
Makes love to my corpse.
Hold on a minute. Ray in Baltimore wants in.
He doesn't have to call him Ray.
No.
Yo, Ray, you're on with John.
I'm going to fight with somebody.
I like to say John never gets laid.
Oh.
Well, that's fucking a retarded answer. I get laid all the time.
Oh.
How could you not?
That's his
I'm
name.
a retarded ass.
Great.
I'm from Baltimore, motherfucker. I'll kill your ass.
Whoa.
I'm from Baltimore.
I'm talking about a fucking movie, you retard.
From Baltimore.
That's right. You know Baltimore, Ant.
Yeah, there's some violence going on in Baltimore.
Yeah, well,
That's right.
Long Island, so
That's right.
shut up.
Thanks, guys. Punch it out.
All right. I don't know.
All right, well, the guy...
Oh, I totally got smashed right there.
This kid knows how to handle
John's
himself.
hostile, I think, though.
Yeah, why are you
hostile?
Why are you so hostile? Maybe this radio show isn't for you because we were just going for a dumb bit. I don't even know if it worked. We just were fooling around a little
You guys
bit.
have been hostile this whole week, so I was trying to fucking chill you guys out with a nice, awesome movie.
I don't think we've been hostile all this week, have we?
Chill us out with a movie.
We have?
You've had some hostility this week. Yesterday was very hostile.
Name all the hostilities we've had.
Hostilities.
I mean, yeah, yesterday was very hostile.
What, the Jason Ellis thing?
That got hostile.
What else?
Well, I'm happy about that Jason Ellis thing because you know what? Like, I gave him a chance. I tried to listen to him. And, I liked him when he was on your show, but then, I couldn't really listen to him. I have a long-distance friend that, likes him, but fucking...
Sir, hold on. It's not that we're not
it.
interested in your biopic. It was just that Oak was asking Sam a question, and he was just answering.
I just want to know all the hostilities we've had this week.
Definitely...
I don't know, the time.
I'm not asking you.
No, he's got it.
Oh, boy.
This show, by the way, is definitely for him.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%, big fan.
What were some of the other hostilities, John? I'll ask you.
Wait, now you're asking me?
Now I'm asking you, yes.
So what about hostilities?
Todd show?
Oh, the Todd show. I forgot about that. But did we do that this week?
I think in the beginning of the week.
Not really.
There's some.
That was last week's hostility.
Ron and Fez hostility happened.
There's no Ron and Fez hostility. Yeah. K-Corn's hilarious, and Fez should get over it. Get over it!
Well, yeah, I mean, Fez really should get over that shit, but he's not going to. He's one of those guys that needs attention. I think he's gay.
Wow, one of those guys, huh?
You think he's gay? I don't know, sir. We don't want to get sued.
Right, please. It has nothing to do with him being gay. Who cares if he's gay? My God.
Is he gay? I don't know. We're doing a show in 2004, apparently. I think he's gay.
I didn't say that I think he's gay. I think he's gay for attention.
Oh, okay.
He's even gay.
Can you be gay for attention?
Wait, you don't even think he's gay?
No, he is gay, but you can't consider him gay. He's never fucked anybody. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. He's never fucked a girl. He's never fucked a guy. What does it matter?
Well, sir, it doesn't. Of course, meaning you can be. You're gay or straight is not defined by whether or not you're having sex.
I understand that.
If you did, you wouldn't have said that.
No, listen.
What a combative caller he is. You're a combative caller.
I don't like him. He's just all over the place.
He is all over the place, and he's combative with everything we say.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be combative.
Look, see?
You took
with you all the time.
You took the most basic bit we did yesterday. Dare I say it was just a silly throwaway, and you're obsessed with the fact that we were beating up your movie.
Well, I was, because I liked the movie, and I was just, it was a phone call that I'm,
watching it 3 times.
Phone call that ended up turning into a whole phone call that ended up this long thing down there we're talking about Fez.
Oh, God. When do you sit there with the channel guide on and decide, I'm going to watch it again?
Right.
Everything else that's on that I haven't seen, fuck that. I'm going to watch it again. And then do it again.
I'll tell you when that text goes out that says, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah. Right.
And nothing comes back.
Nothing comes back. Yes. Then it's like, all right, I'll watch her again.
The thing was, I didn't want to watch it at first. I had a friend over. I was fucked up.
Oh,
and,
cool. Now we get the history of the movie with you. God, I was wondering.
He's setting the scene for us.
Yes, please, sir.
Yeah, I'm
sitting there with your friend, his cock firmly planted in your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You're taking selfies like you're puffing a big cigar. Hey, look, I'm like a Dick Tracy villain.
Whatever. So I watched it the first time, and then I realized it was an awesome movie. It was better than American Hustle. American Hustle is a fucking retarded movie because, the con artists in the end were the con artists. Wow. Yippity-doo-dah.
No, it was a good con artist movie, though, sir.
Yeah, but how many we have?
Christian Bale is
actually different. It's written so much better than fucking.
Yeah.
Christian Bale is an amazing actor. Why are they closing the curtains?
Closing the curtains.
There's some kind of surprise happening.
I don't know.
No. Why are we closing the curtains?
I don't know.
Why are we closing the curtains?
He's answering, I don't know. The
we know you don't, sir.
caller's answering, I don't know.
Why are we closing the curtains? Sam will tell me. Sam?
Let's see.
Voss is already here. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
And he's already staring at us through the glass? Jesus. There's a reason why we do.
Right, sir?
What's going on?
Tell Voss, let's say he gets booked on Jimmy Fallon. He can't just stand there, peeking around a curtain if he gets there early.
You have to find a more believable scenario than that.
I know. What is he doing? Is he right out there already?
Night. Yeah.
Sir, is he? Just exasperation.
Anything else, John?
Sure.
I don't know. There's plenty. I don't know.
Well, people are loving you. Let me go to Scott in Virginia. Scott?
All right.
Hey, asswipe. Why don't you shut the hell up? What are you going to have a fucking tree show like Sam? Get this guy off the
tree show like Sam. What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, John, I apologize. I picked up the wrong line. It was this guy who's loving you. Colin in Jersey. Colin, go ahead.
Oh, Jesus.
This is the guy that sits in the bathroom and jerks off to Siri. Like, get the fuck off the phone.
Like the movie.
Yeah, there's something going on with you.
I didn't want to see the movie at first. I saw it.
Whatever.
The movie ended up being awesome.
But somehow the movie talked to you. What's going?
It talks to you.
No, what's going on with you that you like the movie so much you had to see it 3 times?
Well, it's the same reason why you like 90 Day Fiancé. It's like the same thing. It's like
No, I'm not watching the same episode 3 times. I'm watching
true.
a series.
That's true.
well, that's the difference between a series and a movie. You know.
What? Because the movie's
and something else is just whatever it is.
but because the movie's not a series, you got to watch the movie like it is a series and keep watching it over and over again.
People hit me on the time that I watched it 3 times.
Hoping
One,
it
I
changes.
Watched it first time I watched it fucked up. The next time, because there's just little things in the movie that it is written very well. That like.
What was one thing you picked up on the second time you saw the movie?
The fact that the trend in the future that some people wear their pants a little bit higher up. And there's a lot of things that they don't tell you, and you just pick up on.
With their pants higher up. Well, that's a must-see 3 times.
That's a reason to watch the movie a second time,
Yeah,
to
or a
pick up
third.
on that.
Tell you a lot of stuff, and you just pick it up and you just go with it.
Like
You know
what?
I'm saying?
Like
Well,
what?
the fact is that not everybody's okay with the whole concept of having a OS that talks to you and you become friends with, and people. It's just trying to break through the fact of the. It's the beginning of actually people enjoying that.
Oh.
And obviously the guy's wife is totally against it, so that becomes an issue and things like that,
This
And
guy
things that you can
loves
pick up
it.
What?
Yeah, well, I do love the movie, but...
See, he's combative again.
Questions for it, so I'm going to answer the questions, and then you're going to tell me that I love it. Well, I answer the question.
Wow, is this
supposed to
guy
answer the
fucking
question.
angry?
He's right.
John, what do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living? I'd rather not say because you just make fun of me.
Oh, come on.
What-
We all had shitty jobs.
What line of
Well,
work?
right now I'm just delivering food.
All right. Well,
I am.
how old are you?
28.
All right, you're right at the cusp.
Yeah, right at the cusp.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make fun of you. You got to do what you got to do.
What, pizza?
Nah, I used to deliver pizza. Right now I'm just delivering food for a diner.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, I've actually hung out with Anthony.
Uh-oh.
Oh, gee.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's frightening.
On his phone.
Where'd you hang out with Anthony?
At the fucking bar where he was singing at. I can't remember. It's something with 9 in it.
Oh, bar 9.
Bar 9. Yeah, I guess. Oh, bar 9. There you go.
The bar, something with 9 in it.
Something with 9,
Yeah, it was
bar 9.
fucking,
But did you actually hang out with Anthony, or you just felt like that was going on?
I mean, I guess. Well, no, we were fucking there. He was with his girlfriend, and we were talking for a while.
Yeah.
And then some other guy came up and was talking to you. I pulled him away. I don't know if you remember that. Whatever. It was a while ago.
I don't remember
There was other
anything.
times. And then there was a time when you were here on Long Island and whatever, was chilling, whatever. Forget about it.
I don't know why I like this guy.
He is pretty funny.
Something about you.
There's something about me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you guys tired today?
Actually, no. Let me say hi to Mike in Florida. Mikey.
Shit.
Hey, is this guy has enough time to watch this stupid movie 3 times, but he's so short of time he has to keep saying OS instead of operating system? What the fuck kind of logic
Hey,
is that?
OS.
Is this guy retarded? I said both. I said OS and operating system. What you saying?
Bro, you keep saying
I'm
OS.
angry. He
So
gets.
mad.
You're like in the club. Like if you say OS, that means you're cool and you know what you're talking about. It's not like it's bad.
What are you retarded? In one sentence it said OS and one it said operating system. You couldn't figure out that they're both the same fucking thing?
No, stupid. I've heard you say it 3 fucking times. What's the matter with you?
You fucking retarded. This guy's trying to make fun of me. You could have done a better job, dude. There's a lot of
All right, let me say hi to John in Canada. John.
Hey, morning, guys.
Morning.
This guy sounds like a serial killer. He should probably get out of his mom's basement and go out and see the world. There's a lot of shit out there.
shit. Get out of my mom's basement. Good. All right, good. What the fuck, serial killer? All right. How do I sound like a serial killer? I don't know. Oh, shit, my voice is back.
You're watching robot movies 3 times in a row.
Who the fuck? I didn't watch it in a row, you retard. I watched it 3 times. It's been out for a while. I've been having it for probably over a month now. So, in 3 times in a month. You haven't watched the movie 3 times.
In a month?
No,
No, that's crazy.
No.
It's almost once a week.
That's a little nuts,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
It's like seeing it every 10 days. That's a little weird, yes. I believe it's a little weird.
Well, the movie was new. It was written very well. I'd never seen a movie written that well, so I wanted to watch it again. The first time I watched it, it was fucked up, so I wanted to watch it sober, and then I watched it again.
Yeah, we remember that part.
This must be how it feels, hearing the same conversation 3 times.
Now we understand.
Yeah.
One more call. Hollis.
You guys kept on asking me.
Hollis and Reno.
Hello.
Hey.
No, okay, I haven't seen this cunt-ass movie this douchebag talking about, but the bigger thing, why are you hanging out with this guy, Anthony? I mean, did you fuck him in the mouth? I mean, come on, tell us the truth.
I don't think so. I was probably at Bar 9, like he said, doing a gig or something, singing some with a band, and he was there.
This is the ugly side of being a celebrity.
Yeah.
We get scary people.
You guys roll fuck Howard Stern.
Oh. Now we're in trouble.
Also,
Please don't say that. We get in trouble when that happens.
There was a lot of shit that happened.
All right.
When Jim Jeffries stopped drinking,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he started drinking again.
Yeah.
Well, I was the asshole that made him start drinking again.
Oh.
Well, where was that?
It was at a fucking after one of his shows or whatever. We were all hanging out and stuff, and I was like fucking wasted, and I kept on telling him to take shots and shit, and he finally did.
Right.
And then a couple of times we hung out and we went fucking all to a couple of bars. Actually, my cousin started fucking like all the groupies that he had. These chicks that were trying to bang him and shit.
So your cousin banged the girls that wanted to bang Jim Jeffries? Wow, this guy gets around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let me say hi to Rick in the Bronx. Rick.
Hey, listen, tell this fucking douchebag, John, hurry up with my fucking delivery of my eggs and bacon and sausage and shit. Get off the fucking phone and do your fucking job. You're fucking.
I'm not fucking working now, you retard.
Hey, fuck you. You're not even fucking working. You're sitting there talking about bullshit.
It's 7 in the fucking
movie
morning. Who the fuck am I going to deliver to you?
Fucking lame-ass movie 3 fucking times.
I'll bring you some
The movie sucks dick like you do.
You didn't even
God damn.
see the fucking
You
movie,
fucking
you
piece of shit. Get off the fucking phone and bring me my fucking food, faggot.
Oh, whoa with the F word. Whoa.
The F word. Wow.
And John, relax with the retard word, man. That's not cool.
I don't know. It just comes off my tongue.
All right. Are you done? Everything's good with you?
Everything good?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
When are you going to see her again?
I'll watch it right now.
No, I'm being serious. I feel like you might watch it a couple more times.
Watch it.
No, actually, I got another friend that I want to show it to, so I'm going to fucking watch
Oh, my God. He's showing his friend. He's probably sits there. Look.
Watch this part. Yeah, she's good.
No, this. Look. The guy's like looking at his phone. He's like, no, don't look. Let me rewind. You missed it.
In all my years, I don't think I showed a friend a movie.
Let me show you a movie.
I got to show you a movie. Will you come over?
Movie? Whatever. I'll come over to Anthony's house then.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you've been
I
like
actually delivered pizza right in his area, too.
Of course.
That's if you ever ordered, but the pizza stuck where I was delivering at.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yep, call back anytime there, John.
Oh, yeah? Can I go to Opie and Anthony's party next time? Next Anthony's party?
No. As a matter of fact.
I figured that would be the answer.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thanks, sir.
I'll see you guys. Punching out.
All right.
Punching out. You can't punch out after that.
Found a new character today, I think.
Holy shit.
He's
angry.
I don't know what's going on with him.
Exasperated, angry, he's passionate.
I love when we find a new character.
Oh, he's a hoot.
He's a hoot, all right. All right, we're going to take a break.
All righty.
Eat some food.
Talk about Cuba. Eating some food.
That's right. We'll be back. Stay there. Page of our paper is pretty fucked up today. See the guy that tattooed his dog?
What did he do that for?
I don't know. Wait, is your front page is different?
This one.
Oh, there you go.
Then I got this. There.
Yeah, you got the Duke student that does porn.
That's hot.
That's how she's getting by, paying her tuition.
Well,
why is she telling everybody, though?
Oh, no, I like
Maybe
it,
somebody
though.
found out.
Oh.
Sometimes that happens and they just do it to get ahead of it.
Cute.
An 18-year-old Duke University student, suddenly the most popular freshman on campus, is looking for a little more financial aid under the sheets. With a dozen skin flicks under her belt, she was back in Los Angeles on Wednesday preparing for another porn casting call. The budding porn star featured in films like Lick My Lips and How Do You Like It hopes to screw her way all the way to graduation.
All right.
Are they still making money doing the actual porns?
I don't know how she's paying a $40-something thousand tuition doing porn. They don't make that much for scenes.
Right.
I don't understand it. Unless she's doing a bunch of scenes per film, maybe they do. But
I really enjoy sex, and I've always loved watching porn, so it's just seemed like I could pay my way through college doing something I really love doing. Knox, a woman's studies and sociology major.
What a good girl.
Like Jimmy said, tuition is 47 G's. The petite brunette said her family was supposed to pay for school. When that didn't work out, she considered taking out loans, but she didn't want to strap her family with debt. She says she wasn't eligible for government loans, and typical student jobs just didn't pay enough. It was November, and holiday break was approaching. Then it hit her.
Uh-oh.
I literally just Googled how to be a porn star.
Oh, shit.
It came up with all these modeling agencies. Oh, boy.
Oh my
boy.
God.
And I literally just sent in my pictures and my height and weight, she recalled. I was getting calls literally within days with people saying they really wanted me.
She is cute.
She hopped a plane to L.A. a month later and immediately started her career as Lauren. Within 2 days of meeting people here, I was shooting. The first porn I did was absolutely nerve-wracking because it was really weird to have a photographer watch me have sex. I was super self-conscious, but then I just got into it.
Anal?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. Belle Knox, her poor name, wouldn't say how much she makes per film, but she has no problems paying her bills. In addition to financial freedom, she found comfort within the industry. There you go.
Nice.
Yep. She's lovely, too.
Sexy.
Asked what her family thinks of her new career, Knox declined to answer. That means they're not happy whatsoever.
They're
That's
guilt-ridden
right
over
there.
not paying her tuition.
How about some nude pictures, Sam? What are you, a mo?
Stop finding her with a fucking her graduation cap on.
Right? What the fuck?
I'm leaving my family out of this, but they are aware of what I do, she said. They still want her to be a lawyer, she conceded, and she has no plan to let them down. I want to be a woman's rights or civil rights lawyer, maybe start a foundation for sex workers, she said.
Yeah, let's see. Oh,
That's her?
Yeah.
You don't start a foundation for sex workers 2 weeks after you're in the business.
Yeah.
God, I love her.
Oh, man. She
Oh,
looks
my
very
God.
smooth.
Yeah, she's really cool.
She's really cool.
Can we find another one? Sam, you just got one
Yeah,
big one.
Sam, come on. Don't you know how to look at porn?
Stop jotting things down. You got one big one blown up. What's that, our picture for the day? Get us another one.
Let's go.
Show me your hiney.
You gotta, let's see her.
Exactly.
Let's see. What is that?
Vagina.
Go to the one where she's showing everyone where the poo comes out.
She's a nice vagina.
This is where the
I
poo
see.
comes out.
Oh,
wow.
man.
I'd pay her tuition.
Yeah?
Yeah, if she would just kind of hang out with me. Not
come
once,
out.
but I mean a bunch. I'd pay her tuition.
47?
Yeah.
Let's get her on the phone.
I'd pay her tuition. She'd have to cough up a lot.
Yeah, she'd have to,
And often.
Yeah.
All right, let's
yeah.
get her on the phone. Let's see what we can figure out here for little Jimmy Norton.
Just make home movies with me that I show no one.
Where's another one?
That I masturbate fervently to.
What's wrong with you, Sam?
Sam does not know how to look at girly pictures.
Yeah.
Well, a male friend spilled her secret to members of the Duke fraternity he was pledging.
What an asshole.
What a loser.
Spilled the beans, did
A
he?
male friend, that means like, you know,
He
she
wasn't getting
wasn't
any.
she wasn't interested in this guy.
Or he banged her once and then bragged.
Yeah.
She's doing porn, dude.
Yeah.
I would tell my friends.
You wouldn't?
At that age, I would. Yeah, now I wouldn't
You
care.
know what?
but
I
yeah.
think you're probably right.
If I was like 20.
18, 19, 20.
You think her family
Little
likes that
babbling
picture?
idiots. No.
I hope so. She's sitting on a penis with her legs propped up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I'm filling up. She's actually great.
Yeah.
So let's try to get her on the
Forget
phone. Let's say hi to Dan in New York. Dan!
Hey guys.
Hey.
So I'm a former Duke student. This piqued my interest, so I kind of looked up some of the backstory of this girl. So it turns out she was doing porn to get into school. Some frat guy, I guess, was watching the porn and had recognized her on campus.
Oh, that's hot.
And yeah. So he then kind of blew up her spot and just started telling all his friends. She wanted it, obviously on the down low. And once he started telling everybody, she did a kind of like an exclusive with the campus newspaper, kind of hiding her identity and her porn name. But then, of course, Gawker and all the other websites kind of picked up on it and started looking into her, and they all blew up her spot. She wanted to stay anonymous, and then they all just kind of picked up on it and created this whole thing.
But this works out for her now because she'll make more money for her scenes.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Because now she's got some celebrity to her.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's got Jim Norton taking a look.
Yeah, and she wanted to stay anonymous, and then everyone just didn't respect that. All these women's groups started coming out saying it was degrading and this and that, and now she's in this. She just came out, and that's good for her.
Boy. What do you expect kids to do these days?
Yeah, they got to pay their
47
bills.
G's for college. That's ridiculous.
Great.
Should not be that high.
All right. So I'm going to punch out like a real.
Yeah,
all right.
Well, you know.
And I'm sure that's just for the year. 47 G's a year.
Is that her sucking that penis?
Yep. Yep, that is.
Well, she's just holding it and licking it.
Yeah.
Like, no one licks a penis that way.
No.
It's like you just hold it and lick the head and then stop. Do it or don't.
Yeah.
Stop futzing around with it.
Shit or get off the pot.
Stop futzing around.
Futzing. Don't futz with the penis.
Quit futzing with that thing. Stop just licking the underside of the head. What are you doing? Quit with the crown tickle.
And you want to go to a better story?
Oh, better than that?
Oh, yeah.
Good luck.
Same thing, but it's a high school student.
Oh.
Middle school.
A woman drives straight into ocean in Daytona Beach with kids in car and possible murder-suicide bid. Hey, to all you assholes out there, just leave the fucking kids alone. Go kill yourself.
Oh, they like taking the kids with them.
How about you just leave the kids on the fucking beach and then you drive into the stupid ocean?
Because they're thinking, well, the kid's not going to be able to live without me.
Oh, really?
So you gotta take them with you to spare them.
This me shit. That's all it is. Me. Leave the kids on the beach. They'll have fun playing in the sand.
She just drove into the ocean.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people were there.
She's pregnant, too. A pregnant woman drove her SUV into the ocean with 3 young children inside near Daytona Beach in an apparent murder-suicide attempt. After talking about demons.
They love demons. Before you kill your kids, you gotta say that you talked to Satan or something.
Right. Ebony Wilkerson, 31, drove her Honda Odyssey van wildly along the shoreline near Silver Beach Avenue before veering straight into roughly 4 feet of water, almost submerging the vehicle as onlookers watched in horror.
That's attention-seeking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's attention-seeking. Yeah. You don't think you're committing murder-suicide by driving in front of everyone at the 4 feet of water.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I sat in the tub and held my breath.
Lifeguards rushed to pull the Daytona woman and the 3 children, ages 10, 9, and 3, from the water as the minivan began to take on water. One of the frantic children wailed. The mother had snapped, according to reporters.
He was screaming. The mother snapped. What?
Yeah.
How old was he?
Well, you got a 10 and a 9 and a 3.
Oh, so the 10-year-old was probably like, mom snapped.
She a white lady? This is a white lady crime. You know her name is Ebony or something?
Ebony. I would say it's a white lady crime. Yes.
Yeah, that's a white lady.
Yeah,
Sam, we look around.
Fits the
2 in the backseat was crying with their arms out, saying, "Our mommy's trying to kill us." Oh, gee, I can't read that.
Our
shit.
mommy's trying to kill us. Jesus.
Please help. You know.
Oh. That's all right. They'll get over that, right?
I don't know, Ant. That's a big one.
They'll get over that.
I don't know.
Talking about demons prior to leaving the residence with her 3 young children. Okay, the sister said they knew something was up because she was talking about demons and then got all the kids in the car and took off.
Just another psycho. Like, when we can eventually isolate mental illness and just squash these people out in the womb.
Yeah.
Yes. Just another nut.
Just suck them out. Oh, of course.
Oh, they got to go to the Susan Smith thing.
They got to show Susan Smith.
Right.
Get Andrea Yates to Mothers Who Kill.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
So, kids are doing all right.
Was there a hashtag from, what's her name last night?
Yeah, exactly.
Nancy Grace.
Nancy Grace.
Isn't
no
she
hashtag.
Wonderful?
Ocean mom.
Probably
tot drown.
She'll probably go with Ocean Mom.
Ocean Mom.
No, it's not. It's not good enough, actually. Ocean.
No. You like death. Drown mom.
Drown.
Kill kid mom. I hate her hashtags.
I hate her.
Staying with her sister who lives in this area, and her sister says she'd been saying some scary things, and she was trying to get her into a shelter, but was having trouble doing so. And then when she took off with her kids in the minivan, that's when she called 911.
she's talking about Jesus and that there's demons in my house. She got the kids in the car with her.
She's black.
Shortly
She's
after
black.
that call, officers
That's her
stopped the
sister
minivan,
talking.
but they couldn't do anything.
If the officers had known that or had made any statement that she was suicidal or that she was homicidal, that she was a danger in any way, Daytona officers would have taken her into custody.
They say she didn't. Minutes later, bystanders on the beach became heroes, including this man who rescued 2 of the kids by himself.
I reached in, grabbed the son first, and grabbed the daughter, and then that's when I
went in the water?
Crazy.
Other rescuers tried desperately to get the little girl out. In less than 2 minutes,
brave.
all were pulled to safety.
The waves were strong. The water was cold. They got in the water, got him out of there.
She was angry that day, my friends.
If it had been minutes longer, the outcome probably would have been.
They should have just left the woman in there.
This morning, the children
everyone
are
would
in
have been better off.
Will be placed with family members. At last check, Wilkerson still had not talked to police about what happened. We will certainly report on their findings once she does.
They should have just left her in there.
Reporting live in Daytona Beach, Ricky Klaus.
I mean, they didn't know what happened to it. Who knows? But you just leave her in there. Good. Get what you want.
Yep.
Give the kids to somebody more qualified to.
You don't know what happened. Who knows? I mean, it's pretty obvious. Who knows?
Well, I mean, like until you get her out of there.
You just don't make a sharp left turn when you're driving on a beach.
Oh, no, she could have had a stroke. Or who knows why people drive into the ocean? Maybe she got lost. Going to England.
Got lost. That goddamn GPS system.
Yeah,
right.
Turn left.
You want Nancy Grace's hashtag?
Yes.
What was it?
Ocean Mom.
It was Ocean Mom?
We said Ocean Mom, right?
We said Ocean Mom. Ocean Mom.
What a pig she is.
Oh.
What a
Hashtag,
hateable pig.
Pig fucker.
Ocean Mom.
Yeah. Ocean Mom.
That's just horrible.
Nancy Grace tries to make her Twitter more followable, provocative, right? What a pig!
She's
that woman
using
is.
all these things. Using dead kids. Yeah.
Fake outrage, and then she uses all these things to try to get some followers.
Oh, I hate her.
She is terrible. With her stuffy nose. Yee.
So what's up with the tattoo on the dog?
I don't know. Are people outraged?
Oh boy, are they!
Why they cut dogs' balls off? I'm sure this is fine. He was asleep.
Was he? Asleep?
It's on the front page.
A Brooklyn tattoo artist, huh?
Yeah. Bragged about inking his dog with a heart and his wife's name while the poor pup was drugged after surgery.
Aw.
And animal lovers are barking mad.
Oh, get it?
Oh, God, the papers.
Tattoo Master says, my dog is cooler than yours, in an Instagram post Wednesday that revealed a photo of what appeared to be his zonked-out pooch sporting the romantic tattoo. You think that hurts the dog?
It probably doesn't feel very good. I don't know how conducive dog skin is to tattoos either.
Right.
I would assume it's not exactly the same as humans.
She had her spleen removed yesterday, and the vet let this guy tattoo her while she was under.
Oh, she was under, all right.
Well, you don't know. I think you're putting the dog at unnecessary risk there, maybe for infection or something like that. So,
hey, look, every time they do it to a Doberman Pinscher's ears, they do that for effect. Whenever they make a Doberman's ears point straight up, that's to look cool. That's not natural for the dog.
Yeah.
So people do shit all the time for aesthetic reasons. People should shut their faces.
Well, the ASPCA said this: the tattooing of an animal for the selfish joy and entertainment of its owner without any regard for the well-being of the animal is not something the ASPCA supports.
Oh,
so there you go.
That's a fucking, what a fuddy-duddy kind of a comment that is.
That's so stupid.
No, I really don't care.
No, the dog was out.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't,
You wouldn't do it to beef?
No, I wouldn't do it to Lil Beeve. A little tattoo. Oh, he'd probably try to swat at me. It's adorable. Yeah, good for him. I don't know, though, but does that fuck up dogs' like skin up?
Probably not.
I know they put little tattoos sometimes on dogs to like identify them and shit like that.
Yeah, but that's a quick, easy.
Yeah, it's not like that.
That was pretty involved.
It's like some red in there and
right.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to Michael in Pennsylvania. Michael.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah, hey, quick question. Unless I heard wrong about that crazy chick that drove into the water, Jim had said let her stay in the car, get it over with. I thought, Opie, you said that she was pregnant, though.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I didn't think of that either.
I was going to defend Jimmy before I even heard Jimmy's answer. I don't think he knew that she was pregnant.
I did, but I actually just forgot.
Yeah, so.
Fuck it. It ain't a kid until it comes out anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All night, and I thought maybe I heard wrong. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, now they're talking about killing the little innocent kid.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that, so I guess it's good they pulled her out.
All right.
All right, no problem. Like I said, I just wanted to clarify, see if I heard right.
All right, brother. Thank you. Let's go to what?
What happened?
For the first time in a long time, Lydia.
Oh, wow.
Hi, guys.
Wow.
Oh, you sound chipper.
Drunk. What's that?
Lydia, for the newer listeners, is our clinical psychologist.
Yes.
She's
Where have you been?
Right here.
Oh, I've been listening. I just...
Well, I was going to give you... I wanted to give the resume, though.
Oh, here you go.
You got big fake tits, you drink a lot, and you were touched as a child.
well, that is part of my resume, I guess, yes.
She jacked some guy off in the woods, and he came on her.
Oh, that's right. That was
my God.
I remember that story.
Yes.
I don't remember that part.
Right, but that's what happens.
Exactly. You went home with pine cones in your hair and what looked like taffy in your ears.
Taffy. You thought like a tree had leaked sap all over your face.
Exactly, yeah.
I thought when you said my resume, you were going to talk about my degrees. But
No, God,
that's
that's so silly. That's a waste of time. We all know that.
Yeah, whatever.
You been good, Lydia?
I've been good, yeah. Staying out of trouble, mainly. By not calling you guys. But some days I can't resist. You know, I understand that people with mental illness can be very trying and very demanding and extremely narcissistic.
Exactly.
But a lot of this has to do with how difficult it has become to hospitalize people. As you guys talked about when you were reading the article, her sister called the police, and rightly so, because here's someone in a very bad way talking about demons, which sounds very much like auditory hallucinations, yet until she actually drove that van into the ocean, she hadn't done anything that allows her to be hospitalized psychiatrically.
Right.
Yeah, but she, you know what? I understand she's nuts. She's a nut. But she also knew what she was doing. And she could have just left the kids there. She was just being selfish.
Also, you know, we never hear the stories about the people that had families intervene and did get help and nothing happened. And that's why you don't hear about it. So you're never going to be 100%. So some of these people are going to slip through, as they say, and you get these situations.
That's certainly true.
Of course it is.
You know, there is a lot to be said for family intervention. But
say it all, please.
It really has become very, very difficult to get help for people with mental illness. You know, there's a whole big thing about how people get treated for mental illness only when they finally go to jail in many instances.
More importantly, how are those giant fake tits of yours?
They are fantastic. Thank you so much for asking.
Nice.
Do you like nipple play?
I just got them checked out. I do like nipple play, yes. And one of the nice things that happened when I got my implants was I was still able to have sensation in my nipples. I was concerned about that.
Sensational.
Are they big or are they small nipples?
I think they're sort of normal size. They're not really big. But I don't think they're really small either. They didn't change.
I like that perfect bowl of porridge.
Yes.
Not too
just
hot,
right.
not too cold. Just right.
I like nipples that look like railroad spikes.
The accent is horrendous. A Fran Drescher with big tits.
I don't mind the accent. Those titties don't have a big accent.
Oh, boy.
Well, I am Brooklyn born and bred, raised in Coney Island.
And once saw a dead body. I just remember that about you.
All right.
That is true.
Stand By Me. That was her. She was the girl with the big tits. With the...
What was the...
Get into that. My husband won't let me call you again for another 5 years.
Why? What? Oh, he was the one that prevented you from doing our show?
Well, no one ever prevents people, but he did point out that it might not be good to talk about dead bodies in my apartment on the air. That's probably right.
But that was like in the 70s or something, right?
Oh, yeah, way back when.
Yeah.
And what, you woke up and there was just a dead guy on your couch? I'm trying to remember the story.
You were holding a knife?
Something like that. Something like that. I never hurt anybody, but, you know, someone did pass away
but the problem...
when I was young.
But the problem here is that you guys disposed of the body in that dumpster.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but my ex did carry him out, and I do believe that he may have indeed done that.
I was kidding.
Right?
That's good.
That's great. But you had nothing. Lydia had nothing to do
Absolutely
with that.
murderous.
Nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing to do with it.
Only a little to
Thank
do
you
with
so
it, right.
All right.
Not much to do with it.
Well, Lydia,
I
it's
appreciate you reiterating that.
Just a bit to do with it.
no.
Anyhow, I'm just calling to say...
You're confessing.
Give people with mental
I
illness.
love you.
I'm calling to confess. I'm calling to say give people with mental illness a little bit more wiggle room. Jimmy does such a great job on the advice show, which I haven't been able to hear in a very long time.
Nobody with ears has.
Yes, oh, boy, you had to bring that up.
No,
you had to bring that up.
I was promised it's returning. But yeah, I know what you say, Lydia. I get very annoyed at them, but I don't get annoyed at people who really think that monsters are chasing them, because I think they're genuinely fucking crazy.
Monsters.
But the selfishness of the mentally ill is not addressed enough.
And you can't get them in hospitals anymore, so not as easily.
And what the other caller did, I mean, I'm sorry, I think Anthony said, and he actually, he's very, very insightful when it comes to this kind of stuff, that mentally ill people, who are very depressed really believe this. They leave their children behind. They're leaving them in a very bad place, and they're better off taking them with them.
They're doing them a favor by killing them, right?
I think it's also selfishness. They don't want the kids to go on without them. That's it. They want to just take the whole ship down with them.
Selfish angle there, too.
I was telling these guys, Lydia, to your point, a story that gets to me still, I think about it every once in a while. Around Christmas, you had a guy, very close to where me and Jimmy live, by the way. He's having a problem with his ex-wife, so he decides, I'll take care of the problem with my ex-wife by taking my kid, who's in his Christmas pajamas, and we're going to go as high as we can in the building. I'm not sure if it was on the roof, but I think it was pretty close. And he jumped with his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just a horrific story that happened here in New York City around Christmas time.
That is a horrific thing.
It's like you couldn't leave the kid behind, really. Unbelievable.
Mental illness drives people to do horrific things. I'm not saying that they're totally blameless.
And we all have to coddle them.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? What's wrong today?
But the same thing with
what is wrong with today?
What's that?
The same thing with the school shootings. This is an issue with treatment of mental illness rather than gun control. These school shootings are not happening because of issues with gun control.
Right. Yes.
They're happening because of lack of treatment for people with mental illness.
But again, that's also because, you can't invade somebody's... People are so protective about their records. You should be able to see somebody's mental health records if you're going to hire them. Is this person a nut?
Well, but what about the people who have recovered from mental illness and then get barred from jobs?
Well, then there has to be a way to judge that somehow, too.
Right.
Like, there has to be a way to balance that. But just because some good people might not get jobs, you can't put everybody at risk because, the privacy laws don't allow some psychotic to get a job. It's irritating.
I personally think it would be better if we all lobbied for more care for the mentally ill and more treatment and more options and more open door policies rather than taking away civil liberties. But, I
don't want to take away civil liberties, Lydia. I don't want to take away civil liberties.
More coddling is what you're for.
Yes.
I see it differently.
More of your psycho babble.
Right.
Well,
I say line them up and push them over a cliff.
There you go, the Spartan way.
And televise it on pay-per-view.
You have some hard personal experience.
Do I?
I think you do, yes. Sorry.
Is that what you're trying to say today?
No, not really.
Okay. You know what? Now I'm going to do this to you. Someone wants to say hi to you.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Hi, Lydia. Do you remember me?
I
remember.
I remembered your name. All right.
Irving.
Irving claims that he touched Lydia as a child.
Irving did.
Oh, you did say his name was Irving.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Lydia, it was consensual, and I know you remember that. Remember, you were in your bikini.
Irving, what you did was a horrible thing to me and many other people.
Oh, gee.
And there's a forum on Facebook for growing up in Seagate where people are talking about you.
Wow.
I'm famous. Thank you for doing that.
Really? There were other people in Seagate that Irving fucked around with?
Absolutely.
But Lydia, you were my favorite.
Oh, that's sweet.
What a delight.
That's a good thing.
It's like my birthday listening to your nasal twang again.
Just jacking off on the kids. Oh, my God.
What a monster.
Fucking Seagate.
All right, Irving.
He was a really disgusting monster, yeah.
Whatever happened to the real Irving there, Lydia?
Well, I hope he's dead, but I know he got a serious beating at one time.
Why do you hope he's dead? He's mentally ill. You should focus on treatment.
Exactly.
Oh.
Should get him the help that he needs, Lydia.
I draw the line at pedophiles.
What line?
I don't believe pedophiles are mentally ill.
What do you mean we got to get in line?
Well, Lydia's letting personal experience dip into her professional
Absolutely.
world.
That's right. That's exactly right, Anthony. That's one of the things that's very difficult for me to be understanding about.
All right, Melfi. Enough for you.
Yeah. Why do you think, Anthony, that everyone gets bored when I talk?
Why do people wish that my segment wasn't coming up and there was more whacking?
Yeah, why, Anthony, do they hate looking at my dumb legs and my boring voice and my face that looks like we weren't shot in the same room ever?
All right, Lydia, it was great catching up with you.
Yes, Lydia.
All right?
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
All right, boy. Let me say hi to Mike in Cleveland. Mike?
Yeah, hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
Hey, first off, I want to say I love your show, and I've loved it for a long time.
Good.
But there's one thing I want to comment about your discussion about mental illness. We want to be very careful about painting mental illness with a broad brush.
Oh.
Because some of Jimmy's
I use a roller.
sexual deviations could be considered as mental illness.
I understand that, but I think we all, as intelligent people, kind of go under the assumption that we know the difference between a guy banging a hooker and a woman driving her children into the ocean.
Yes, I agree.
And I think you know that I'm not discussing all forms of mental illness, and I'm not talking about people that are OCD, and I'm not talking about even people that hoard. I'm talking about people who are a direct danger to injure other people.
And absolutely. And anyway, thanks a lot, guys. I love your show.
Oh, you're so
and
bad.
have a good day.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you,
All right,
sir.
brother. Let's say hi to John in Virginia. John.
Hey, guys, I want to talk about the opposite end of this spectrum here, about having to be careful about things like this. In 2005, my cousin, who was my next-door neighbor, is one of those people who always carried his Bible under his right arm, and he got mad at me one night because I didn't want to listen to his preaching, and I kicked him out of my house. Well, because he was mad, he decided to call the police and say that I was this drunk asshole, which I was drunk and I was being an asshole, and he was afraid I was going to hurt someone and maybe hurt myself. Well, the police came, and since I was drunk, they said that they had to do something. So they took me to the hospital because they were afraid I was going to hurt myself. Well, I went to the hospital, and they said, well, you're obviously not any harm to yourself. We can come pick you up. Well, like Ant, I'm a gun enthusiast, and for 8 years, I had no problem buying firearms, anything like that, and I went to get my concealed carry permit, which is a little bit more in-depth, and where it says, have you ever had any in-house psychiatric treatment? Of course, I put no, because I haven't. Well, I get called down to the police department, and they say, you know, well, what happened here in 2005? And I said, what do you mean what happened in 2005?
Uh-oh.
And they said, you know, what happened with this temporary detention order? I said, what temporary detention order? So, yeah, you do have to be a little bit careful when it comes to this psychiatric treatment and everything. It took me a year and 12,000 of my dollars to get that dropped against me, and I still now have for the rest of my life a psychiatric treatment file on my case. I haul hazardous material. I get a Homeland Security background check. There's not one thing wrong with me, but just because one asshole got mad at me one night because I didn't want to listen to his preaching, I now have a psychiatric background on my record for the rest of my life. And can kind of understand this. Every time I go to get a background check, I don't have to put that on there, but as soon as they put the paperwork through there, on hold, sometimes for a day, sometimes for 2 days, and I have to come up with some sort of elaborate excuse as to why it's put on hold, because, you know, you can't exactly put, oh, well, I was in the psychiatric center, and, you know, now I've got to have everything put on goddamn hold. You know, that kind of makes you look like an asshole.
John, I got to tell you. I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I think John was pitching a fit right there, huh?
Get over it.
Old man language.
Relax, buddy.
Whining and crying and pitching a fit.
Pitching a fit.
Let's say hi to Doug in Syracuse. Doug.
Hey, guys. I'm calling in because I've been taking care of my mentally ill brother for 10 years, and he's a violent, narcissistic fuck.
He's a violent, selfish, narcissistic fuck. Yeah.
Yep. He's exactly what Jimmy was talking about.
Let me guess. No sense of appreciation. No sense that maybe he's the problem ever. That his issues cause these problems around him. None of that, right?
Nothing. He's ruined my life, my family's life, my extended family's life. He's held back everybody and everything around him for literally the entirety of my and everyone in my family's life.
Then let me ask you a question. Why do you deal with this zero? Like, the thing is, totally separate yourself from this person. It becomes this weird relationship where people feel this need. Well, I don't want to. Yeah, but fuck them.
It's the family thing.
So what? Family is family, but fuck them.
You're stuck with some of these people.
We had a discussion, I think it was about 3 years ago, me and the whole basically rest of the family, where we basically had a discussion. It was either we take care of him or he dies. Like that was it. We had, and we all basically had to discuss, like, how would we feel if we killed him? Like that was it. And we're like, we would be upset.
Okay.
Like, if we were directly responsible for his death.
But you wouldn't be just I'm sorry to interrupt you. By freeing yourself of him, I know you're tied in with family by but you don't have to see him at all. If you choose not to see this fucking leech, I don't care if he's sick. He's ruining your life, and he's like Opie said. He's unappreciative, not aware.
It's not that easy, though, unfortunately, because you do have that biological connection.
He's a genuinely insane person. He's mentally ill. Biologically mentally ill.
I finally got to a good place with my own mother, but it took a really long time, man. It's not easy in the end, unfortunately. I wish it was easy. God, I would have saved a lot of heartache and years. So, what is he doing now, Doug?
Now I managed, finally, I got him on enough medicine that he's been fucking tranquilized enough that I was able to get him a job to get him out of the country. That I was able to move him out. I convinced him that it was his own idea to move the fuck out of America and take a job in fucking China.
Doing what?
And tranquilize in China. I swear to God. That this was his own idea to go.
I think he's a lead tester in China.
No, it's one of those zilch programs where weirdos go and teach English in China, where you don't need any qualifications, apparently.
You gave China your problem. That's amazing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, well, what was great about it is I convinced him it was his idea, where this was going to be this huge opportunity, and he was going to go and be this big shot, and it's a big adventure and shit. And he has weird zilch friends who are like, don't do this. This isn't going to be a good idea. And he's like, screw you guys. I'm going to be a huge fucking success. And now he's there, and he's calling me, because apparently you can get a cell phone for nothing in China. He's like, China's weird and scary.
A lot of tea, also. That's what I hear.
Fuck you, dude. You're in China now.
Do you pick up the phone when he calls?
No.
Good.
Oh, my God. Is he doing all right there?
I read his Facebook posts. He's doing pretty good, because believe it or not, most of the people he's working with are even crazier than him.
Right. All right, so maybe it's going to work.
Can we send our mental patients to China?
That'd be great.
Why don't we just do that?
Right.
From what he's told me, I did pick up the phone once. He's been there about a month now. From what he's told me, if I can believe everything he says, because he is a narcissistic, selfish, lying fuck, the people he's working with are these off-the-grid weirdos because the job just pays you in cash. They don't give you a check. There's no like taxes. They don't do anything. They just pay you in cash. You go and you're the tutor for Chinese millionaire children who they bring their kids in. They teach them English, but they already know English. So they just want to know how to talk more American-like. So you just talk at them, and then they talk back at you. And you just have to be very polite, and that's the job. So they pay you in cash.
See, I told you guys years ago, the Chinese are a common.
Well, if we could send our nuts over there
to teach them
for
English.
a few Chinese over here, that's a good deal.
All right, man. Well, thanks for your story there, Doug.
Thank you.
All right. I want to take Jay's call in Philly. Jay.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
I listen to you guys a lot, and the only reason I'm picking up the phone is because of the subject matter. And I've got a sibling. I'm from a large family. My parents are actually quite old, 87 and 81. And the only reason I got to deal with a sibling who's got a mental illness problem is because she has free reign to come over to my parents' house whenever she wants. And I'll tell you, she's ruined so many events.
Imagine that.
I know you can stay away from somebody, but when you got parents that don't want to disown their child and think they can make a difference even when they get involved in these programs to support these people, like she's made my last month a living hell to the point where, I mean, I'm not 54, I'm not some young kid, but I'm trying to do the right thing for my parents. She's lost her kids. She lives in the state of New Jersey. They take her, you know, she's certified, so she don't have to work, and she's learning how to play the fucking system in a state to do not a damn thing. I got my best friend who calls me up last week. She shows up at a gym, and he goes over, not knowing my sister's a whack job, he goes over to say hello to her because back when I got married 30 years ago, he recalled who my siblings were. The next thing she's telling them, I'm over getting my parents drunk at the house and poisoning them, trying to get into their money. All types of bullshit. Called the cops on her boyfriend, which is one of like all these guys she finds on the internet just to go the fuck out with.
Jeez.
And it's a living fucking hell.
Sounds great.
I don't have a resolution for it because I'm like the trustee for my parents' will to take care of their health.
Right.
And now I've got a bunch of siblings questioning who I am because I got a whack job she's got in their head.
And what did she do to your parents that you're worried about?
Well, it's not what she does to them. I mean, like last week, I'm in there because my mother's calling me up. My father's missing a checkbook from the trust and a register, and I got to put a stop payment on everything. But she's just going around starting a bunch of fucking rumors. But I used to feel sorry for her. I'm at the point now where it's like I wish something would happen to her.
Yeah, you get exhausted after a while. You get worn out, worn down.
Yeah.
He sounds worn out, worn down. Doesn't
Absolutely, man.
And then my sister.
But the majority of the people that listen to this radio show, they have one like this.
Yeah.
That's very close to them, and that take up all the attention, or most of the attention of the whole family.
Well, I know there's a lot of people out there that have problems and got to be on something, but I got to tell you, when you've got to deal with something and it's not by choice, it's a living hell, and you wish they would remove themselves, or one night they would decide they can't take it anymore.
There you go.
But you don't want to be getting phone calls where you're being blamed for all their bullshit, because that's exactly what they do.
Let me ask you, why won't your parents just cut this burden off?
Well, they're old.
Because my father's one of these people that has faith, and he believes you want to know something, you don't give up on your kids.
All right.
You don't leave them at the doorstep, no matter how fucked up they are.
Right.
And I respect where he's coming from, but he should have always done something outside the house, not allowed it to come to the house.
This guy sounds
just beaten by this
down.
This fucking drain.
Poor bastard.
This drain.
Thanks for sharing, Jay.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, I'm telling you.
What a life this guy's
got.
got.
We'll stop it here, but look, every single phone has somebody very close to them doing the exact same shit. Look, every line. So,
what a bitch.
Yeah.
Needs that.
Terrible.
Imagine that, like, every time you have an event and a family gathering or something, There's that just
fucking
black cloud just waiting for fucking to just ruin the good time.
But you know what the key is? Don't invite them to the event. Why didn't I get invited? Because you're a fucking drain on everyone.
Yeah.
What do you mean imagined?
Just shut them out, though.
Oh, geez.
Like, everyone has to go, enough. And then that person will either be alone, like they should be, or go, wow, maybe I really am a burden on everyone.
They probably won't say that.
Well, you know what, though? The problem is no one ever puts them in that position where they're completely isolated.
Nah,
and alone.
most of them will never realize.
Well, then let them be alone.
That they're me-me's.
Yeah.
Then they're too crazy to realize they haven't been invited. If they're sane enough to realize they're being excluded, they should be sane enough to realize that they're selfish fuckers.
Yep. But they won't.
No. Wait, this guy says Jimmy's really pissing him off. I'm ready to move on, but...
Really?
Tom in Jersey. Tom.
Yeah, man. I'm mentally ill. I'm a little bit pissed off at Jimmy. You know, look at it this way. When you were drinking and you had your problems with alcohol, did you act like an asshole?
No, I was a delight. Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay, so as a mentally ill person, let me tell you, a lot of the times when you're acting out, it's just like being drunk, man. I don't remember. You ever have those blackouts where people tell you what you did and all that shit? Well, it's exactly the same. They'll tell, you know, I go into a manic state. I've been hospitalized, everything like that. You know, I've got a family, and I take my medication. I work hard, and I go into these manic states sometimes through no fault of my own. My mother was exactly like Opie's mom, you know, probably worse. You know, I grew up looking at it, and I can tell you, I'm not imitating her behavior because I don't remember a lot of those episodes.
You know, hold on, let me. I know what you're saying, dude, and I'm not. It's a hard thing to talk about because then it's like, yeah, this guy's saying something that's legit, and it's not like I'm attacking all mentally ill people. But when I was drinking, or anyone's drinking, people around have to react accordingly too. I'm not saying that mentally ill people should just be hit with a brick, but when it comes to the person is ruining every family event. It is the family's responsibility to distance themselves from this person.
I think. Well, hold on. I want to speak for you there, Tom. I think. For a lot of people, we're just looking for any type of awareness.
Yes, or recognition of it.
That your illness is affecting a lot of stuff around you. But for some reason, there's never that awareness. And it's so frustrating to people that have to deal with a mentally ill parent or sibling or friend of the family, whatever. There's never an awareness. If once my mom just sat down and said, "Oh my God, I'm mentally ill. I know that, and I know some of the things I've said and done over the years has had a horrible effect on you kids or you know, your dad or whatever," that would have been one of the greatest things to happen to me.
I got you. My mom's the same way. She's never recognized the fact that when she was up for 2 weeks straight beating us in the middle of the night, that went on. She doesn't even remember that went on. But I
never got beat, by the way. Mine was more just yelling and screaming and just like.
Well, that was most of
nice
it. But,
beating.
But listen, I'm telling you, I've been into the same places she's been, and you don't. It's not about not recognizing it. It would be nice when you come out of it, like when you sober up. If you're drunk, Jimmy, that you say, "Oh shit, I fucked up." You know, and I do. I try to do that because I got, you know, kids and everything, and you got to recognize it. But you got to think about some of these people that never. It's like never sobering up. Imagine you're 12 shots in and you never sober up, and you're acting like that all the fucking time. That's the same thing. You know, I guess it's a person's fault for drinking, but if you have 12 shots in your brain without ever putting it in there, it's not your fault that it's in there, and you're acting like a fucking asshole and a narcissistic fuck, but you don't have any control over it.
I understand. Look, yes, but I don't believe all cases are like that. Like what you're saying is, you're saying, like, I go into manic episodes and I have these things. Like, you're aware of what's going on. So I'm not. That doesn't annoy me as much as like what Opie said. It's people who just refuse because they're so selfish, and they're not all 12 shots on the brain constantly. Some of them are just selfish.
Right,
Some people are just selfish.
Yeah, there's different levels.
I'll grant you that, some, definitely. But I've been in these mental institutions. I've seen these people
And you're right, they're narcissistic, they're assholes, you know, and that's part of their illness. And no, they're not all 12 shots. Maybe they're 8 shots. You know, it's this varying level. They're sick people. I can be a sick person. But what really pissed me off was the first comment you made to me about this woman who did this thing in Florida.
Yes.
You know, you said something, and you were genuine. It was before the jokes were really popping. And I listened to the show a lot. I do understand.
What did I say? Yeah, what did you say that bothered you?
You said that we should find these people in the womb.
Yes.
And stuff them out or crush them out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we should find every drunk who can kill somebody.
Yes.
Them in the womb.
Yes, you're not. Let me finish. Let me finish before you get on a self-righteous tear. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about a. What do you say?
Fuck you.
Fuck you too. Fuck you too.
Hey man, you know I'm just calling to tell.
And I'm responding to you. And I'm responding to you. I'm telling you what I meant.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm not saying that's right. I'm sorry too. I don't like. I'm not saying yank them all out of the womb by their legs. I'm talking about when we can isolate the gene that causes mental illness and alcoholism and all, and they will isolate it eventually. That gene should be wiped out. It's almost like if you can stop polio in advance, they will eventually be able to do that, and then mental illness won't be an issue. Of course, they should do that.
Okay, that's not how it sounded or came across when you said it about this woman who is in all likelihood a sick fucking person. She's mumbling about demons. That woman is 12 shots in and someone put it in her. You know, you feel sorry for that woman. You got to put her away. I've been put away. I don't disagree with that. But
Tom,
have a little bit more compassion, man.
Tom, do you have an awareness that you would leave your kids behind when you're having a mental issue? Breakdown, whatever you want to call it, episode.
You know, will my wife leave me alone for a month with my kids? Probably not, because, you know, you can kind of see it coming sometimes, and I take my medication and I work on it, but I've had issues, so there are some things that I'm limited to. I have to be watched a little more, and I have to be extra vigilant myself, but not everybody is as lucky as I am, has a good family and, you know, an understanding of this and have gotten treatment. It is hard to get into hospitals. I've had mental breakdowns where I've been sitting for weeks just trying to get into a hospital, and I've got money.
Have you ever said just sorry?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I swear that goes a long way. For someone that had to deal with this growing up, that shit goes a long way, man.
And Tom, this wacko who drove this van, she's not so crazy that she didn't know I have to stop at a red light, or right. It's like when you're talking about crazy people that just go on these. She knew enough,
to
do
drive
that.
properly.
She knew how to get to the ocean and make the turn. Like there was enough of a conscious and cognitive behavioral ability.
And that's what I'm trying to get at, man.
What?
Because I don't know about you, but when I've drunk when I was a younger kid, I could black out on my feet, and I could still get behind the wheel of a car. But I'm telling you, I don't remember it. There are a lot of that you don't remember what you did. So
it's a talent. Like that.
I like Jimmy's point though. Like she said, she heard demons, but the demons weren't telling her to, you know, run red lights and go 90 miles an hour in a 30.
Yeah, or just run by herself into a police station and yell, "I got a gun," and get herself shot. She knew better than to do that. No, she was going to make everybody else suffer and take. There was a motive behind it. That I know what you mean about blackouts. But I think that when when someone drives in to the lake, like with the ocean, there's a consciousness to it too, man.
I think so. Hey, Tom, thanks for the call, though, man.
All right, yeah, love you guys.
All right.
Bye, Tom.
Yeah, thank God you love us.
Yes.
Thank God. Now I'm just sad.
What a kook.
Just sad.
Just relegated to kook.
Just reminds me that my mommy's broken.
Oh, no.
I don't like when we do these topics.
Oh, boy.
Brings back too many memories.
Oh, is it sad? Bad memories.
Yeah.
Young little
Greg, little sweetie, little Obster.
Oh,
that's all good. We got Rich Vos next.
Fair.
We got Bob Kelly next. We got Neil deGrasse Tyson coming in about an hour, I think, 9:20ish.
He's smart.
And I wanted to do this. We'll do it after the break.
Please.
More Ron Fez audio.
Oh, please. I was reading Twitter, and I'm like, uh-oh. Someone goes, uh-oh, meltdown. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking about Sam. I'm like, oh man.
Boy.
I got to hear this tomorrow.
Well, we got to play this one out, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So we got some amazing Ron Fez audio.
Yes.
As the drama continues.
Mm-hmm.
You bet it does.
Got some funny people in studio. Funny people. Bob Kelly and Rich Vos at the same time. My God. We were talking about babies. Talking about babies hitting their heads. We were talking about mental illness. All this stuff during the break. You missed out on it. It was great. It was terrific stuff. Amazing.
Well, you watching the baby. My daughter, when she was about 4, we're walking into this big glass door. You know how sliding doors slide?
Sliding doors
slide.
Yes.
No,
breaking
glass.
news.
First dumb joke.
Yes.
Listen,
Breaking news, everyone. Sliding doors slide.
Let me explain this. I'm trying to put this in perspective. In perspective.
Put it in categories.
In perspective. So she's walking with her hand going along the glass window, and then a sliding door came and sucked her hand between the two doors, her whole arm. What do you mean? Oh, you're watching your 5-year-old?
Are we trading war stories?
No.
My son, the exact same thing happened, but in an elevator door.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, but no, it got stuck that way, not.
He put his hand on the elevator door as it was opening, and it just went and right into the thing. I had to push the elevator with both hands to try to get it out.
Yeah, but you could buy your
complete panic.
You could buy your son a new hand. You know, you got that kind of money. Cunt. I said you got that kind of money.
He didn't, he didn't know if he was going to say cash or money.
Right.
And he just fucking panicked and went cunny.
You should warm up your mouth before you get on air.
Exactly. Shut up. Cock. And then a shotgun.
See, I thought we were going to...
So what happened with the sliding glass door? That's an easy fix.
Yeah, I had to fucking pull the door back.
But I was under the gun because it's an elevator door.
Oh, man.
That elevator door doesn't want to, like, stay open. It's going to start closing. And I don't know what that was going to do. I don't know if it was going to bring it back out all nice or not.
And then the elevator started going up. And you see the arm get ripped off like a...
I know, that lady, the lady got cut in half.
Right.
The lady got cut in half.
She got caught in one of those faulty, the elevator, the sensor didn't work. This is in Lower Manhattan, I think. Yeah. And people have been complaining about the elevator, and it grabbed her. And you never just run in, and it started going up, man, and it just sucked her up against the wall. It was terrible.
It cut her in half.
Were people in the elevator watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to talk to one of those people.
Such a great vine.
Remember the one where the guy was coming in and it chopped his head off and the elevator fell into the basement and there were 2 women and the guy's head now in the elevator in the basement and they couldn't get out.
It was awful.
They're just trapped in the elevator.
It was doing Jimmy Durante impressions the whole time.
After a while, they're just playing catch with it just to pass the time.
Kicking it around.
How bad you
making different faces with his mouth. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm mad.
How bad you want to interview one of those people? We're stuck in the elevator with the head.
That's like the train stuff when the guy gets cut in half, but he's still alive, and they have to call his family in because once they move his just innards fall out.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Why couldn't you build a little house for him?
Keep him there forever.
Just
move the train?
Yeah, just keep him there forever.
No, don't even move the train. You have to leave the train, so why not just build something?
Build something around him.
Let him live for a little while.
I worked with this.
And who decides, okay, look, it's time to kill you?
Yeah. In the future, they'd have like some laser gun that just just come like a robot, just glue his torso together so they can just pick him up and throw him on something.
Well, this magic act, he's a major. He does a bit, and he uses. I don't want to use his name. No, I don't want to give it away. Okay. But he uses a guy that has half a body and walks on his
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel.
No, not Chris Angel.
No, it's Chris Angel.
No, the guy
does that too.
He can't leave his room in the day in the hotel because people will see they have a body.
So at night they probably they cut him in half, or they cut him into quarters, like from the face lengthwise.
No, but it's fucking creepy.
So he doesn't have legs.
Yeah. He has nothing under his torso.
Yeah, I know who you mean. I've seen there's a few of those guys.
There's a few of those guys. Yeah,
they're great handshakes. They're very strong guys. Step in dog shit a lot.
How do you piss though?
They got to tie their t-shirts in
They
a
might
knot.
have a dick and balls at the bottom. They all look like gay guys in fucking 1970 in California.
Could just be a urethra hole right in the front.
Oh, yeah, imagine smelling that.
Those shirts are like trash bags.
Jerry Springer had one of those guys, right?
Yeah. So they shit. So do they have a dick and balls?
I don't know. I'm not. I would love to know.
No, they're not dick and balls.
Is that your main concern?
Yeah.
No, they're pretty much cut right below the belly button.
So they don't have they don't have a dick and balls, but they have their asshole is somewhere. Right?
No.
They have to shit.
Yeah, well, it's not an
It
asshole.
falls out the hole of the bottom.
Maybe they have a bag.
What'd you just say?
It falls out of them.
What does?
The shit.
What happened?
What's going on? Where's Sam? There's some stuff been going on with him.
What happened?
Oh no, I mean I'm.
Oh, the thing? You want to do the thing?
Yeah, where is he?
Oh,
but there's all this fucking buzz around here.
Yes.
But what's going on?
A hullabaloo.
What happened?
It's a hullabaloo.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's been a whole thing with Sam and Ron Fez and Kate Corn.
I'm just going to point at him.
Look at his legs. Look at his cartoonish open legs. And by the way, Bobby is and Rich are doing a podcast tonight. My wife hates me live.
No.
Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, it's live at the Village Underground.
Good.
My wife hates me. Rich and Bonnie's podcast is going to be live,
moderated by like Ron Bennington.
Yeah, he's going to be a guest marriage counselor.
Okay,
and it's going to be stand up, the podcast, and then Q&A at the end.
Great.
It's gonna be a good night. Village Underground Tuesday.
It's going to be
night.
a lot of fun.
If that works, you could tour that shit.
Yeah.
Well, we did.
Who are the stand-ups?
Rich and Bonnie.
Well, what's his name's going to open?
Well, who else though?
Dan Soda's opening.
Dan Soda.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a few minutes. We did the live podcast in L.A. We did at the podcast festival.
Oh, God.
And what?
Why would you do a podcast festival?
I don't, because it was fun.
Oh,
it was a
God,
lot.
horrible.
I'm sorry. Why would you fucking rollerblade, you fucking homo? I don't know. You like to do it.
Way
Go
to come
fuck
up with
yourself.
something I did 10 years
Why
ago, by the
would
way.
you take pictures of a fucking sun? I'm just saying we were invited, so we went.
Wow,
we don't get
someone's
invited to
bit sensitive.
No, we don't get invited.
We've been doing radio together 20 years. We never went to a radio festival.
Because
Sounds
nobody
horrible.
likes you there. Why would you go?
You've never been invited.
All right, well,
Keep it festive.
you won this one.
So
Nobody wants to see you in a hotel lobby in the morning. Being cunts.
Exactly.
Look at this guy. What I do?
I like a lot of podcasts, but I can't imagine going to a podcast festival.
Well, it
that's all.
was fun. There was a lot of big podcasts, Marin and Dana Gould and Isha Tyler, Bench, all the West Coast, and from the East Coast, all the West
Dana
Coast.
Gould and who else?
Isha Tyler.
Isha Tyler?
It's Aisha. I said Aisha. I don't know. Whatever. Just a lot of them. And when we did it, we had two marriage counselors come up, Andy Kindler and Jake Johansson, and it was fucking great. It was a lot of fun. You know, they came up. Kindler was fucking on fire. He's one of the funniest men alive.
He really is.
You know,
Is he really? I don't know much about him.
He's really funny.
He's
and a nice guy.
Yeah, I hear he's nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to have him
I
on.
want to see the. I want to hear. I got to hear this.
Yeah, what's going on, Sam? I'm just
comment?
asking because there's all this buzz around this.
What mic is that?
Hullabaloo, as Anthony said.
Hullabaloo.
7.
Okay. You are a producer.
Yeah, you're exaggerating, by the way.
Dick size.
So the Village Underground, right?
Yeah, on
Tuesday night,
Tuesday
7:30. Ticket. Some tickets available, so they're going to go fast though. It's only a 200-seater, and we're already sold.
And it's nice and early. I'm going to go.
7:30.
I can go to early things.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Rich always invites me out to dinner at 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I can't.
At least you get
Why
invited.
can't we eat dinner earlier?
Well, we were supposed to eat dinner one day earlier, but something came up.
No,
That's okay.
no, earlier in the night.
Yeah, we were.
Why do I never get invited? Why do I never get invited?
Because you don't have a spouse and you don't have time to go buy one. So.
It's a couples thing.
Yeah, but I know all your spouses well enough to be
couples
a third wheel.
things.
You can come to dinner with us
Rich.
anytime you want. You're always out of town.
I can go to dinner with you and your wife and be totally comfortable with the couple.
last
you
time
come
we
over
had
to my house all the time. I invite you over on Sundays.
Yeah,
you come
of
up.
course.
Sausage soup.
Because I know your spouse is well enough where it's not
sounds
awkward.
awesome.
It's the best thing on earth is wife soup. It's fucking
When
amazing.
am I getting that invite?
So we're moving to the house Sunday, and as soon as the new
right.
house is open, we're gonna have a nice barbecue. I'm gonna have O&A Q.
No, I want an
you.
individual invite.
Like I said, it's an Opie night, and then I'm gonna
Thank
have a Jimmy night.
You should call it a barbecue and then just do Bob Kelly things.
Barbecue.
A barbecue.
Oh, that is a good one.
I cook the steaks.
You know what, dude? You throw your steak, you grill, boom, you gas.
Hopefully, you turn the gas on. Boom.
Yeah, you forget to, start a fire.
No, it's
boom.
not as big as yours, Anthony, but it's it's what I got.
I like the suburbia thing.
Oh, that awful
Nice.
discussion. holding on the bird. You know, dude, it's quiet. You can hear the birds.
You don't think that? You wouldn't like that discussion?
No.
You know, when you're out here, outside of the city, dude, you got your yard.
Just pontificating.
That's the exact thing I repeat over and over so I don't kill myself.
If you have a yard and stuff.
I mean, look at this, dude. It's quiet. There's no noise.
Yeah, the birds.
Yeah, dude, listen. Listen.
When was the last time you heard the birds?
Listen. That's what I'm paying for.
Those are cicadas, dude. You hear them?
Aren't you scared that you're going to get shot by hunters?
It's not moose season.
Bean. That was just not nice at all. Are we doing this audio or what?
Yeah, I guess
Should we do this audio? I mean, this is going well, though.
Who are you asking?
You, Sammy boy.
I'm not going to make the call as to whether or not you should.
You're
do
the
audio
executive
or-
producer.
So, how did I don't know. This needs a big setup. Take us back to the beginning of this really quickly.
The cake horn?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Well, Fez was mad at management because they told him he couldn't go somewhere in the building. He yelled that they needed to shut their cake horns.
Right.
Found out that that was not a term.
No.
Doesn't mean anything.
And Ron, because he's brilliant, went with it.
Ron went
and
with
cake
it.
horn was trending around America.
#1 trending topic in the United States 2 days in a row.
And Fez just would not let it go and realize that, wow, now it's something else, and maybe I should just relax and enjoy the fact that cake horn is now a trending topic.
Yes, and then
and he claimed it was a gay thing because they wouldn't let him near the fishbowl.
Right. And then yesterday, he went on Ron and Fez and said he was mad at me because I was bullying him because you guys listened to cake horn audio.
And that you brought it to our attention, which is not true. When my Twitter explodes with everyone talking about Ron and Fez and cake horn, I think
you got to find out what
I think
it is.
I don't need Sam Roberts.
Right.
You can say that again.
So then
Can't wait
Fez,
till Jess and her lawyer said that.
so then Fez was mad at you because he thought you brought it to our attention. Because, of course, when we get the audio, it's not going to be pretty for Fez.
Well, of course not, no.
So he's mad at you.
Right.
And you're on some kind of secret list of his.
And then he said he had put me on his list.
Right.
And would not go into detail as to what that meant.
Well, we have new audio from yesterday, and I swear I had no idea this happened and that you absolutely brought this to our attention.
I did not!
With a big laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's like, you got to hear this. All right.
Cake horn I knew about. This I'm telling you, I didn't know about.
But
So,
I'm not the one who brought it to your
have fun
attention.
with Fez.
Oh, God.
Who brought it to our attention?
The same guy who cut the clips.
Who? Oh, Eric?
That Nagel kid.
He rocked that nigga.
Oh, the Nagel
I
kid.
heard a Nagel kid.
Oh, no. Hubs McGillicuddy.
Does Ron set up the audio nice here?
E-Rock cut the clips, but
nice pass the buck.
This
just like put it all on the record.
This audio is really creepy.
Yeah, well, the backstory is that for Christmas, I think, Fez gave Ron a matchbook from the first place they met that I guess Fez had been saving all these years.
Was that the creepy Christmas gift they alluded to?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it was a matchbook? So Fez meets Ron. Fez does such a great night, he saved a matchbook.
From that day.
And then years later, he framed it and gave it to Ronnie as a Christmas present?
I'm talking decades later, yeah.
When did he give it to Ron as a Christmas present?
This year.
Jesus. So easily 20 years after having the matchbook.
Yeah.
That's a nice gift. It's like, I don't think that's weird. It's like, yay, this is what our friendship
What's Ronnie
started.
going to do with that, honestly?
You frame
Ronnie
it.
going to hang it up somewhere?
Yeah, well, it became the radio show, so I would say that's okay.
It's kind of interesting. What is it? People come on, what's that? Oh, that's the
I met my friend. He became your radio partner.
Well,
Yeah, but what if you found out that, like,
don't
get Ant had met you? Ant had saved a matchbook from the place where he met you.
Ant saved his ponytail.
Yeah.
Exactly. He gave you a racket wrench. Here's my rat tail. Yes. What would be more amazing to me is if I found the day Anthony met me, there was actually beer left in the bar when he left. It's not a sober day. That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry. It wasn't a good joke. I know you do, but it was a weak joke.
So whether you think it's a nice thing or not, what happened yesterday is beyond creepy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, here's some audio from yesterday's Ron and Fez show.
Let me set this up for any new listeners. A few years ago, Watley gave me a Christmas gift of a pack of matches that he had framed. And I looked at it, and I know it was this like little club in Florida. And he goes, "This is from the night that we met. I saved it all these years." I was very weirded out by it because I'm like, that's not something a man does.
saves a pack of matches, A. B said, I saved a pack of matches because we met that night and I had a good time and I always wanted to remember it. And I've said, and like 2 decades went by, and then at least 2 decades. And then he gives me the pack of matches and it weirded me out. And then to find out the truth, he was given those matches in 2002 because somebody went back and found an old clip from WNEW.
Oh. Where's the clip?
We got it.
Oh,
I'm letting that sit there for a second.
Wow. So he lied about the...
Yeah.
And then someone actually
told Ronnie that he's had these matches the whole time.
He created a moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to hear the clip, though, because I want to see if it's a misinterpretation of it. It might not.
Yeah.
Fez might be telling the truth, or maybe the guy's
lying.
Yeah, exactly. Or twisting a clip.
Here's the WNEW clip of Fez from 2002, I believe.
A friend of mine actually collects matchbooks. He has them on a display in a display case hanging up in his living room. I thought this is the most retarded thing ever. He gave me one, Ronnie. This is not too long ago. From the club where we first met, me and you.
No way.
Yeah.
All right.
I should have saved it for a gift.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. I would have cried.
I should have saved it for Valentine's.
This friend of yours?
Yeah.
Gay guy?
Yeah, I think so.
So there's the truth that someone gave him those matches. Then he's saying to me, I should have gave it to you as a gift, and me making the remark, oh yeah, I would have cried. And then find out the truth that he fucking rat-holed them up his ass for a few years.
Rat-hole.
Put them in this shitty little fucking display case and handed them to me.
Wow. I held this ridiculous book of matches in my ass.
Right. So the NEW clip.
Birthright.
Yeah, it's birthright.
So how did he respond to this?
Oh, that's why we're
Is he
here
in
right
studio
now.
right there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He must have been.
So the NEW clip's from
mortified.
2002. So Fezzi got the matches from 2002.
12 years ago.
But he didn't actually, get the matchbook himself when he first met Ron.
It's still a long time. It's still 12 years to hold matches. And I've done that. I've had gifts from other people, something lying around the house. Hey, we're going over here. I'll grab that. Give me that foot. Give me that ceramic foot. I have a gift question.
Yes.
Can I ask you a gift question?
Yeah.
Say you did a benefit and you got a watch as a gift from the benefit, and you're never going to wear that watch.
I already went to Macy's.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Oh, shit.
Are you shitting me?
I already went to Macy's.
Are you kidding me?
No, you fucking pricks.
Is this what I think it is? I didn't. I still have it.
I saw the Macy's tag.
I still have it.
You know what?
What?
Nice certificate. Nice gift certificate.
I still have it only because of a memento, and that's why I want to keep it. But I'll never wear it. So what do? You just hold on to it and never wear it? Well, not you.
I think some things you just keep
I went to
as
Macy's.
a memento.
I'm not a watch guy, but I'm a shirt guy. I like shirts.
Jesus. My God.
Oh, does that answer your question? That's heartless.
Garbage.
That's a little heartless.
What? I didn't do anything.
Jesus Christ.
I know not one person has the watch on here today.
I don't have
prick.
mine. I never
I'm
got
the
mine.
prick.
I didn't get mine.
You
didn't get one? No, Maureen has it. She hasn't given it to me.
Oh, where's everyone else's watches?
I'm not going to. I got mine's in the box. I got it at home for real. I'll bring it in. I'll bring it Monday night to the show.
I believe you.
He doesn't.
I'll
Did you get a
bring it
watch?
in.
Did you get one?
Yes, I did, and I still have it. And I'm
Give
going
me
to
the
save
watch.
it.
That's what I'm going to do. Save it.
It's a gift.
It's the thought that counts.
It's a gift.
I love the thought, and I love
And
I love my new shirts.
Yeah, you exchanged that thought for a Henley.
Jeez.
A nice 3-button fucking pullover. You know what I'll do? Maybe I'll just steal Bonnie's and return hers. She got one? Yeah. She went on.
All right, and then...
No, I'm kidding. It was a joke.
And then you guys could share the one watch, and it looks like you both still have the watch.
Oh, that's true.
So you could get away with that.
Oh, God.
Here's Fez trying to explain the matches.
Oh, no.
That was a real gift. I had those matches. I didn't get them in 2002.
Then why didn't you act like that guy? Why wouldn't you said that guy has something wonderful? Old matches.
Because he was keeping a complete collection of matches from every bar he ever went to, not something special that I thought was between you and me.
There wasn't anything between you and me. You got matches from a listener.
No, I didn't get the matches from the listener.
I just found out the fucking truth now.
He tried to give me the matches. I thought it was a really nice gift.
How's that a really nice gift?
I thought it was something special.
You took matches off a fucking listener and you handed them to me.
I didn't take matches off of the listener.
Ron, Go Pack Joe, a listener, sent me these cigarettes. Would you like one?
That's odd that you would feel so close to me to give me that smoke.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you could hear it.
Oh, boy.
How is this Sam's fault? Sam's had nothing to do with this.
Well, Sam...
Well, he brought this
He's
to our
exploiting
attention.
it.
Yeah. Exploitation.
Yeah. It gets,
Sam,
are we in still? Because it gets way worse.
Yeah, I feel bad for Fez. I think he gave a nice gift.
Is he crying?
It gets
Yes.
really... before you go any
I
further...
can't take I can't take crying. My kid's crying now. I fucking can't take crying. Your audiences.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing with a kid, but then a grown man crying is
You're
a little...
still moisturizing your tattoos?
This new one. Oh, okay.
It's not new anymore.
That's not
This one
new.
is. This is 3 weeks old.
No, it's not.
This one's 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
I thought I've seen that one before.
No, you saw that one.
Do you know, what is that?
Moisturizer.
What is it? Moisturizer in a fucking aspirin bottle?
No, it's in my high blood pressure bottles. I got so many of them.
Why don't you just, they come in small bottles, you
not
fucking
not
loser.
this kind, you fucking
really
idiot.
are a nickel chaser.
Why don't you fucking put this, why don't you put this lotion on so you can get through the tunnel going home? You fucking asshole. Shut your fucking mouth.
Slow down. This is when you ruin it.
You killed it.
You got a good one.
good.
Everybody's laughing. Now you start getting wet mouth. Your fucking fake teeth that start slipping on your fucking thin lips.
He does ruin it, doesn't he?
It does.
It's like pushing a fence over fucking ice.
Fucking stupid knicker rectum fucks him up.
Yeah, what else is that? I don't see this being Sam's fault so far.
Dirty bottom.
You want to take a vote? Who wants to continue? Because this gets ugly.
It gets way worse.
This gets way worse.
Oh, God. All right.
So Ron's convinced that, Fez didn't save this matchbook all these years. He got it from a listener in 2002, saved it for 12 years, and then gave it to Ronnie.
I'm just hearing
but the story's different, that's all.
This gift was actually given to Ron like 3 years ago, not this Christmas.
Okay, so 9 years ago.
All right, here we go.
But I'm sure that, that's... Sure, it's stock Fez. Try to find anything that tries to make him look bad. No one will be happy until I'm dead. So, fine. Believe whatever anyone wants. That was a gift that I kept, and I thought it was really nice, and I gave it to you. And now someone has to... I know it made you uncomfortable, and I apologize for that. But now someone has to try to fuck that up, too.
Someone has to fuck up you making me feel uncomfortable?
No, just anything I try to do, someone out there has to try to make it look like the biggest fuck up ever.
Says he.
Trust me, the heart attack is coming. I can feel it. I'll be gone soon.
Okay, Elizabeth, I'm coming. This sounds like...
Is this a shoot or a work?
Yes.
It's a shoot.
Well, then why would someone do a fucking job if it's going to give you a heart attack? Then I promise...
That's what they want me to do.
Then I promise you this, there'll be no fucking mention of you on the show. None. If that's where you go with it. It won't fucking come up again. Okay? It's done.
Oh, wow.
It sounds like every night in my kitchen.
Oh, is that it?
Just my wife crying over
We got it. We got it.
Stop trying to make it a serious statement there. Stop trying to make it a a real moment. You were trying to track a joke and no one laughed. I'm glad you didn't laugh. That was the point.
He's not actually just making a point.
Hold on. Norton's making a point because his eyes are opening.
Yeah, that's what happens when you talk. Your eyes stay open.
Let me tell you something. Every finger looks like a thumb. I hate it. I hate your hands. They fucking make me just stare at them because they're so fucking odd.
You like his pigs in the blanket?
Fucking hate your
You don't like his little stiff hands?
No, he's got
non-bending
fucking
gargoyle
toe fingers. His fucking thumbs look like fat toes. I hate it. Fucking ugh.
So I guess that's it, Sam.
No, it gets worse.
Oh, God.
Are you still in?
Fuck, dude.
Are you in, Bobby?
I guess. I feel bad, man.
Why?
I like.
He sounds very sad.
Can you just look around the room? It's, the faces, people are concerned.
Yeah.
The only one that's just smiling is this disconnected hunk of shit Vos.
No, I know you.
40 years in the business is just fucking disconnected.
Yeah. Listen to me. You're 100% wrong. You're 100% wrong.
Affection or
You're
touching.
100% wrong. I fucking like Fez, and
Give me a hug.
Give me a hug. Like my arms are gonna reach around.
There's something wrong
He
with
doesn't
him.
like being hugged
It's
or
called
touched.
autism after and being repeatedly raped as a child.
You can't take a hug from a friend.
Look, I'm trying to touch him. He just cowers away.
It's just gross. Keep your fucking horrible hands off
I
me.
hug Norton every time I see him. I miss this little fucking bastard.
Yes, he does.
He can't fucking touch Vos. I've never gotten anything from him.
I like a good hug.
Do you want a hug?
I like man hugs.
Hugs.
Yeah.
And are you kidding me? I feel so sad for Fez in this because
No, you don't. You think that you're
No, I don't think I'm supposed to.
As a true sociopath,
No.
you're doing an impression of human emotions.
No, listen to me. First of all, Doctor fucking whatever.
Good one. What? But dummy couldn't come up with something after Doctor. Dr. Detroit? Retard.
Okay. One, because I don't want to get into it. I mean, I know what he's going through.
You do?
Oh, shut up.
I do. What are you kidding me? You're wrong.
Explain yourself. Explain.
I used to smoke.
What do you mean you know what he's going through? Explain.
Because I
addicted to
suffer
heroin.
from anxiety, and I could see
Anxiety.
Yeah. And he's got
Yeah.
whatever. And, you know, it was a touching moment. He was trying to be nice. It's like with you
want a
fucking guys.
touching moment? Oh.
You guys, when you bring you guys something, you
Yeah.
break it. You don't appreciate. You think.
I
you know,
appreciate the watch. I just
No, I'm
appreciate
not talking about the watch. Other thing. Like you think, like someone's giving a gift and you think it's better to get a laugh out of it and smash it, but he really fucking truly was given a gift and some fucking dumb caller is trying to degrade his gift. I know
All
what
right, let's
he's going
continue because I don't know what he's
Yes.
talking about
What
over
the
there.
fuck are you talking about?
Ron has had it.
Okay.
Scott, you're on the Ron Fez show.
If Fezzi kept one book, he kept both. So if he's telling the truth, he'll be able to bring in the other book tomorrow.
I'm not having anything more than that. Trust me, I don't want to give anybody a fucking heart attack. That a pack of matches or a fucking thing could give someone a heart attack, that's the last thing I want. Sam, don't go running off to O&A with this. You'll kill him. He'll die.
So he did.
Sam.
What
are you
the
doing,
fuck, man?
Murderer.
If I knew that Ronnie said that, I wouldn't be playing these fucking clips.
No.
As he pushes the button again.
Exactly. And why still has his finger on the button?
As he hasn't heard this before.
Well, we did commit to it, so we got to finish it out.
And why would Ron give Sam that suggestion on the air?
Right.
Oh, right.
Here's Tom. Tom, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Well, I'll just say Team Sam, and then I'll say, yeah, the thing I'd like from the TV show is...
Don't even bring it up. That's too stupid. That's we're dealing with life and death now. Purple guy, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Hang on, I got to put down my cake horn. Hey, I want to ask Fez, now that he's a big fat liar, are we supposed to believe him on his
Please, don't bring his name up. Austin, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Ron, I know I can't name them, but there's two different people in that room, Todd and Fez. Todd gave Fez the matches.
You're killing him. Monty in Texas, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Poor Fezzy.
Stop it.
Oh, boy, the listeners are brutal, huh?
Ronnie's evil, man. He is evil.
Oh, yeah.
Why are these guys waving at us?
We're big stars. They see some big stars in the room.
Oh, they all dress the same. They all have the same Perry Ellis fucking shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys that fucking take the train from Long Island.
Those guys.
Stupid slip-on brown, stupid shoes.
Loafers.
Yeah.
They're wearing
Lee jeans.
Loafers. Lee jeans.
Perry Ellis fucking mock turtleneck. Get their hair cut at Supercuts or some sports cut, that new thing.
What do you think? Everyone's rich?
Huh?
What's a sports cut?
It's they got the fucking TVs of all the games on it, and it looks like they're fucking.
It's all hot chicks, kind of.
What do I know? I go, I get the haircut, I go home.
Yeah, regular Joe.
Yeah, what do I know? Here's $12.
Same
Dip the comb
style
in the blue.
since like 1955.
Yeah, just a little off the top, a little trim.
We have one more clip from Ron Fez. This ends it.
All right.
Dave, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Yes, Ronnie. I would just like to know what changed. We were supposed to move to a new channel. I mean, we got Shelby, but as far as I can see, it's all the same. Fez melting down on the listeners and not going with the flow and crying. And how are we going to do in April, Fez? What's going to happen?
You know, if he would have gave a sentimental cry but not threatened us with his death, I'd feel completely different. But I can't be responsible if this is all too stressful. If, you know, Sam running back with a tape is going to kill him, I can't be part of that. Josh, Massachusetts.
If I had an item and someone came to me and said, hey, I got this item from there, and I had the same item, I would have brought it up. There was no mention of, hey, I got the same item. That's the only thing I'm going to say about it. You think you would at least bring it up, but there was no mention
He
of it.
did get busted today, and then he threatened his own death like it would be my fault if he died. Let me just officially say, that pack of matches was the greatest present I ever got. I sit and I stare out of it, and I think about our great friendship. Live forever, my friend. That's what I say. Dusty, you're on the Ron Fez show.
I'm on a bit of delay. Is Fez still in the studio?
I am not going to bring that up. I don't want to make him feel upset. I don't want to kill him. I love him far too much to see him die over something quite so silly.
Okay. Well,
I don't want to feel like I'm blowing this out of proportion, but I feel like I'm saving his life right now. That this is some type of preventative surgery. I hope I haven't gone too far with that, but I consider this preventative surgery.
Ron, you define codependence.
I really do. I really do.
There you go.
Oh, he is fucking hilarious.
There you go.
Saving life.
That's really a strange one.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, that wasn't Sam, didn't really, you know.
well, Sam brings it here, and that's what the problem is.
Sam's a double agent.
Yeah, but it's bringing a lot of new listeners to Raw Dog, though.
That's true. Raw Dog
Ronnie's
noon.
on at noon today.
At the price of somebody's life.
Well, hopefully not. Ronnie says how much he loves the gift, and then everything's fine.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the second you goof on it, it could be an event.
Lives are at stake.
Right.
Wouldn't the original gift come with papers?
What?
What do
You
you
know,
mean?
like when you buy... All right, they're not all good. How about if one of them would be?
You mean certificate of authenticity?
That's what the fuck I said, papers. I didn't have to go through no big words.
As long as the tag is still on it, you're good. At Macy's. You're good.
Oh, yeah?
I can't believe you.
Why?
How many shirts? 2?
A few.
It's $200 watch.
Is it?
Yeah. Look at his eyes lit up.
I got a few out of it.
How much you got? How much you got?
It's about right.
That's exactly
About
right.
200?
It's about right.
$200
Of course the Jew looked it up.
Oh, really? And, I looked it up. Who ran to Macy's in the next fucking millionaire plus 200?
Yeah, because I'm not. I don't have the Jew guilt. That's the only reason why you haven't done it yet.
Yeah, and you don't have a
that
conscience.
guilt. Oh, I
You
have
go
a
with
conscience.
guilt. Really? Maybe you could have bought your kids something with it. Then it would have
He's got enough stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen
The
it.
kid's good. Kid has too much shit. You buying everything for your kid, Bobby?
No. Not yet.
You will.
Bunch of toys, but the
Yeah.
same toy over and over.
You want to play with something? You play with a hammer and nails.
There you go.
Build
They'll
something.
learn.
He found his ding ding the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Norton's mouth?
Jesus.
I hope that comes back to haunt you. I really do.
Wow.
I hope you get. I hope you get caught molesting somebody and they use that as evidence. I'll be right in there. Yes, he did say that, Your Honor.
Holy
and
shit.
it
Are you
shocked
talking
me
about
too.
your kid?
What?
I didn't know you were talking about your
Shut
kid.
up. Of course you knew.
Yeah, shut up, you hilarious fucking thumb-fingered assoll. Will you please
Wow, he
go
went there.
and get
Wow.
regular ointment for your fucking tattoo? you're just a fucking slumming Jew.
Yeah.
That's all you are.
How about you get some invisible ink? Rub it on yourself.
I hope the industry hears you when you're calling me a slumming Jew.
Jimmy,
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, it would have been called vanishing cream.
Oh, okay.
Not invisible ink.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just want Rich to disappear. And by the way, if the industry hears him bashing you, they'll be like, who is he talking about?
Why can't we just be friends? Fucking poor Fez is crying. Fucking gonna die. He's threatening to have another heart attack.
It's way worse in here. Where people just go with it.
It's so
Why can't he just go with shit?
Do you understand he's crying out for help?
Yeah, whatever. He's been doing that for years.
Yeah, but it's been going on for a long time. I mean,
we got Neil deGrasse Tyson coming in. We're going to talk about the cosmos.
Ooh, what the soccer team?
You got any questions about the universe, Rich?
Yeah, why are these two still on?
For the record, he was pointing at Opie and Anthony.
Yes. What do you know about the universe? What do you know about the universe?
What do I know about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some planets hanging out.
Good.
Yeah.
A lot of stars, light years away. Mars is not a planet anymore.
Mars?
Pluto. I made a mistake. Pluto.
That's messed up.
Pluto's not a planet.
You hear about
anymore.
Pluto? That's messed
Pluto was taken out as a planet. They put Bobby in.
All right. That's pretty good.
His fucking reading glasses are broken too.
I know. I need a
what are you doing?
What use could there be for them? Reading glasses. That's like my fucking pogo.
You had it, too.
Do you need
yourself.
help?
Huh?
You need help?
I need a lot of help.
Do you need money? What the fuck?
Yes, after my taxes this year.
Stop putting your fingerprints on your glasses. It's creepy.
What do you need to fix those?
He's got
A toothpick. The screw fell out.
Toothpick? We might have a thing.
You're gonna fucking fix it with a toothpick? What is this?
Yeah.
1920? They're $4 at Dwayne Reed.
They
you
were
fucking
$1 at the
tattooed
dollar store, you
asshole.
jackass.
Why don't
They
you
were
buy other
$1.
ones?
Buy
$1
better
at
ones.
the dollar store. Yeah, you're helping your cause.
Yeah.
Who the fuck goes to a dollar store?
Someone who's got a couple dollars in their pocket.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing. You buy these glasses. I got like 10 of them. You lose them, you break them. Fuck this.
Or you just buy one pair and take care of them.
Yeah.
Really? Because they break. You lose them. They're reading.
Right, listen, we gotta go to break because Neil deGrasse Tyson's going to be in.
That's great.
One of the smartest men in America, in the world.
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
Yeah. 141 on my IQ test. Oh, I did another one some guy sent me from O&A.
Yeah.
A tough one. A real tough. 100 is average, and I got 120 on this one. 100 is average.
Where is it? Why didn't you bring it in?
This is bullshit.
I'll do it. I got asked the guy. I sent him back the results.
Where is it? Could you redo it on? I guarantee you won't get 100 if you redo the test.
No, I got 120. And
I know. I'm saying you won't even get 100.
I'm not going to do it now.
Did you do it by
some
yourself in a room and then?
No, I did it in a tree house with 3 people watching. You fucking idiot! Where else would I do it? In my room by myself.
No,
I didn't have help and tutors there. It's an IQ test.
We got what you meant. Fucking
I
wordy
do it by
asshole.
myself.
We don't need any more examples.
You know what you need? Brakes on your fucking choppers. Fucking
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, did you do it by yourself and we're supposed to trust you, or did you go to a place and have it done legitimately where other people saw you take the
listen
test?
to me, you fucking idiot.
I'm not a
just
genius
told
like you. I'm sorry. I'm just asking questions.
I'm telling you.
Where did you do it?
The guy sent it to me online, and
Where
O&A
did you do
listener.
it?
In my
What
fucking...
Holiday Inn Express did you do it?
I did it in my kitchen.
By yourself?
Yeah, you concentrate. You get a piece of paper,
You
a pencil, and
concentrate when you
figure out. And I'm not going to lie, 100 was average, and I got 120 on this one.
What do they do? Like
it's a tough one. I got it on
shapes. Like
Yeah,
they had shapes.
all that shit,
and you gotta
yeah.
fold
No,
the
100 was
pots.
average. 150 was blithering idiot. He got a 120.
The other way.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand what you're doing
Whoa!
Went backwards.
0 for 2. So one more strike.
there. Where are you going to be, Rich? Big plug time.
This Saturday, Mohegan Sun Theater, and Tuesday, big live podcast. Rich Voss, Bonnie McFarlane, My Wife Hates Me, special guest marriage counselor Ron Bennington.
Yeah.
Okay. And Bobby's producing it.
At the Village Underground.
Dan Soda's doing warm-up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
7:30. Tickets still available, but they're going fast.
At ComedyCellar.com.
So if you're going to get tickets, ComedyCellar.com. And this weekend I'm at the Bushnell Theater in Hartford, Connecticut. What did you call it? Theater? Theater. Bushnell.
It's nice where you work.
Friday night, is it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Thanks for coming in. It was good seeing you.
Yeah, that'll really happen, okay? All right, sports junkies.
They're telling us you have to go.
Who did I get? I got kicked out last. Where did I get kicked out of last week? The way this. Oh, when Cowhead said goodbye. It was so funny. Well, thanks. You did a great job. Thanks.
That was it.
But I did enough time on there.
Oh, okay.
He fucking loves you
week,
guys.
actually.
He loves you guys.
I hope he doesn't know who he is.
I don't really know who he is.
Hope he doesn't really know who he is.
He knows you.
He was in your studio recently.
That's what I heard. I apologize. I'm not trashing the guy. I just don't know him.
You were on Twitter that day. Yeah, you know him, Cowhead.
Nope.
He's out of Ontario.
No.
California. No, I know, but that's where I'm going to be this week. So I'm plugging. It's a fucking shark fest in here. You got to get the plugs in. This weekend, the Improv in Ontario. Virginia Beach, March 20 through 22. Tampa, April 11 and 12. And then Caroline's here in New York, April 24 through 27.
Where are you in
Why
Tampa?
are you flexing?
I'm showing Bobby my
But no one cares.
Hold on, I'm not finished. And you can get my Jim
Sorry,
Norton.
Jim.
That's okay. You can get American Degenerate on jimnorton.com. It's available for download for $5.
Or you can just meet him live.
That was a great special, by the way.
Thank you.
Really funny.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
So people complain, like in England, I couldn't get it, or Australia. It's like, just then go get it.
Now you can.
Yeah.
You know what? Forget it.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I'm just, because we weren't in or any calls after the Patrice benefit, but everybody killed. It was one of the most fun nights. Just everybody, the audience was fucking great.
It was fun,
just fucking unbelievable. The host held it together perfectly. Everything went smoothly.
You did a great job.
Bobby fucking destroyed Norton. It's just everybody.
Yeah.
You know, Bonnie fucking. You know,
Stop naming people after you said everybody. We know what that means.
How do you go from we gotta go, what's your plugs?
I don't know.
To fucking, to your
That's why I said I'm saying nice things about everybody.
I don't want you to.
I
want you to fucking go to break so we can get fucking this genius in here. I want to learn about planets.
Yeah, I know, but Boss is giving his fucking his summation of the fucking 6 months ago.
Fucking boring asshole. Shut up.
The gentlemen are off to drop a deuce. Stay tuned for their progress.
Busy day. We got Bob Kelly in studio, Rich Vos, and Neil deGrasse Tyson is making his way into the studio in a minute or two here. What number mic you got there, Rich? 7
there
still?
He is.
You guys,
Hello,
you guys,
sir.
Hey, Neil.
Are you
How
guys?
are you?
Hey, are you familiar with Song Lyric Sunday yet?
Yeah.
Is anybody?
We hate
God, we hate it.
We already made fun of it. We made fun of that last week.
Oh, you did?
Terrible.
I just told Neil off mic how great the new show Cosmos is. I just want to make sure I say it on air as well.
Yes,
I saw the first
Cosmos.
episode last night, and I loved it.
Yeah, just trying to keep the universe real.
Right.
What team did you play for?
Team Cosmos. All right.
Oh, my God.
I haven't seen it, but Opie was raving about it this morning, and it's like you're kind of picking up Carl with the show Carl Sagan started,
Right.
and redoing it, or just doing it.
Yeah, if you're old enough to remember that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, a couple things. I mean, they're putting a lot of money behind this show because
Yeah,
the animation.
it's a full up network production, and we took full advantage of that.
Right.
It's not just because there's resources or money there, but we actually had access to visualization talent that previously had only given those energies to full blown blockbusters.
They built you a spaceship, sir.
Yeah.
He's in a spaceship.
Well,
when he's
ship
doing
of the
this.
imagination.
Ship of the imagination.
Ship of the imagination.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
In the original, it was you needed a place to pivot back and forth through space and time, some place to go so that the camera can go to the next place. It had some mixed reviews because it was a little weird and why isn't there? But in the new one, it's been re-envisioned.
Okay,
and I thought I was biased initially, but I'm not. The ship is badass. I don't mean to tell you. I'm just saying.
The special effects for this new show is great.
My cousin programmed the computers on the space shuttle. Andy Post Andy, you know Andy Post?
I know the
he's a genius.
Yeah, okay.
He programmed.
Is that his name, though?
Connect.
Do you think he's bragging about you somewhere? Mike husband. My
husband. Yeah. Is that what you call it now?
My family relations.
Yeah, really.
There's a lot of inbreeding. You get husbands.
That explains it.
I didn't know you met Carl Sagan.
Yeah, when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
I was applying to colleges, and he's a professor up at Cornell. And I didn't know, but that my application to Cornell was sent to him by the admissions office. And they said, "What do you think of this guy?" He wrote me a letter.
You were that smart back then? Well, no, I don't think they just.
It's not a matter of smart or not smart. I don't even know what that word means, but I know that I love the universe.
Okay.
And my application was dripping.
Oh, okay. So it got his attention.
Yeah, it got his attention. He sent me a letter, invited me up, and showed me around. And reached behind his desk and pulled out one of his books and signed it. I still have that book.
Showed that.
To
On
Neil
the first
Tyson,
episode.
future astronomer.
Wow.
So yeah,
Bobby doesn't know what a book is.
Why, Rich?
Boy.
No, your polite laughter says it all, my friend. Thank you for that. Yes. Can I just say something?
Books are sources of knowledge that don't require batteries.
Can we segue into something in between Rich's ears? Let's talk about the dark matter.
Yeah. The endless void.
He says he's a genius. He says he's a genius.
He took an
You're
IQ.
on radio. No one knows who he is, as you point out.
They know.
The audience knows.
Yeah.
They know, Neil.
We're talking about a dummy. They know.
He took an IQ test recently.
He took an IQ test.
141.
Nice.
141. And then,
Now, what I find about people who get high IQs, they have to tell other people.
Right.
Right. And it's like I think the coolest IQs are the ones that you don't know what it is, and they just are.
I also had a 142.
And what on an online IQ test?
By himself in a kitchen
what were
with
their
a pencil.
Kardashian questions?
Make fun of me to tear me down to build yourself up.
No, I'm not building myself up.
Any 12-step program will tell you that's what you're doing.
But you just did that to Bobby.
What?
With the book thing.
No, I was being real.
Oh, I see. Oh, you weren't making a joke.
I'm not making a joke. I'm not. This is a real.
I do want to hear about the universe.
Exactly.
I would like
He's
to
smart about
Exactly.
that. Thank you.
Well, the universe, it's all around us. And one of the goals of Cosmos is to remind you of that fact. That it's not just...
Some people don't like feeling insignificant, though.
Well, no, so that meant you started with an ego unjustifiably too large to begin with.
Is that it?
Right. Oh, yeah. If you say, oh, that made me feel small, well, because you thought you were big compared to the universe. So get real, notice how small we are in space and in time, and then find other things to feel big about. Like the very material of your bodies derives from stars. We are stardust.
What? Oh my God! This is where it gets crazy.
No, but so now you look up at night and you see the stars and say, "I'm a participant in the great unfolding of this cosmic story." That's how you feel big. You don't feel big by saying, "I'm bigger than the universe."
Will you explain the ending of Prometheus for me?
And will you spell it for me?
I have a quick Prometheus comment, if I may.
Yes.
So they made it clear how far away they are. They're like, 30 light years away near a star, okay? And around another star. Wow. And there's a scene with Charlize Theron, I don't know if you remember this, where there's this sexual tension between her and the captain of the ship. And she says, pretendingly like she's not interested, I didn't come I didn't come 1 billion miles into space to just, make it with you. And 1 billion miles is like to Saturn.
That's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Would that be, 180 trillion light years? 180 trillion miles?
1 billion miles? No, 1 billion miles is 1 billion miles.
30 light years would be 180 trillion.
Yeah, about that, because 1 light year is 6 trillion miles, so demand's good.
Yeah, look at Jimmy.
Jimmy knows.
That's funny that you're the only person that fucking critiqued that part of the movie.
Well, no, it was...
That's a billion. What this bitch
no, what
don't know
people
what she's
said was,
talking
we
about.
know you're a geek because you were not otherwise distracted by her body. Right. I'm thinking, no, that's the wrong number she's saying here. See, that's how you get geek street cred, all right?
It's about to be a sex scene.
I'm card carrying. I got this. I got this.
Yeah, I'd never have sex with her. She's terrible at math.
I didn't say that now, but I was...
So what are we getting from Cosmos, from the new one?
I'm trying to...
You're hosting.
We're just trying to... it's a huge collaboration, and the lead writer is Anne Druyan, who is Carl Sagan's widow and co-author with Steve Soder, a colleague of mine, of the original series. And so they're both. So that means we have the genetic link to the original. So we knew how to turn the knobs and tweak the themes. And so what we're trying to do is remind you that it's okay to be stupefied by the universe, to feel a sense of awe and wonder. And this is something we all had it as kids, but at some point it all got beaten out of us or distracted out of us. Right. And I say this often, your parents spent the first year of your lives teaching you to walk and talk, and the rest of your life telling you to shut up and sit down. And it's the walking and talking and exploring of the world that a scientist still has as an adult. And the whole point of the show is to sort of ignite that flame of curiosity in us all. Plus, the 21st century, you're going to need some kind of science literacy to solve the problems that we have in energy and transportation and security and health. So don't come around me saying, no, I don't need science. I got other... It's like, of course you need science. And Cosmos is a way to get you to realize how much you want science.
You're an astrophysicist, right?
Astrophysicist.
And what, how much of that involves, theoretical physics?
Yeah.
Or is it the same thing, or is it...
It's half. I mean, it's all a community of... You put forth a hypothesis, we have testing, we have computer modeling, and what emerges once you explain what is known and successfully predict stuff you hadn't known before, what emerges is a successful theory. So the theory of gravity, quantum theory, evolutionary theory, these are the successful understandings of how the natural world works. And these are the highest fruits of science.
Wow. You lost me at hello. Do you get a lot of big IQ groupies? A lot of scientist groupies?
Okay, so you asked if they girl groups. My assessment of this is that no one is immune. No one of any gender is immune from being a science groupie. And so I think my highest compliment I ever got was, I got this in my Twitter stream. So the guy said, "I'm as straight as the next guy, but if Neil Tyson showed up at my door with a bottle of champagne and a Barry White CD, I'm letting him in." So I thought that was... So my point is, there are people who never before were stimulated intellectually, but they don't know how to react. And whenever you're stimulated in other walks of life, you feel it sensually. So I'm finding that people are sensually stimulated by the intellectual enlightenment that the universe brings them. And... I say whatever works, we'll do it. Because
do you miss being on the Love Boat?
That wasn't me. No.
We actually just interviewed him.
We had Isaac in last week.
That's why I said it. I remember that interview. Don't mind Bob. I thought you guys would laugh a little more. You guys are all uptight because he knows how to make a laser.
We get very few bona fide geniuses.
Yeah, we love talking to guys like
know
Neil.
that.
What are some of the subjects you're going to tackle with
so
Cosmos?
the first episode, as you may remember, because you saw a preview of it, we had to sort of lay the foundation. So
I like the big calendar.
The calendar.
You got to walk on one of those big calendars.
A calendar the size of a football field.
Yes.
And it's a year-at-a-glance calendar, so it's got all 12 months there. And you lay the history of the universe onto that calendar. So now you get to say things like, well, when was the Big Bang? January 1st, okay?
Right.
You go back there, and I check it. I don sunglasses for that. It's the only thing I don sunglasses for. If you got to put on sunglasses, let it be for the Big Bang. And then you can ask, when did our galaxy form? The Milky Way, that was March 15th. And then you say, on that calendar. And you say, well, when did our solar system form? We didn't form when our galaxy formed. We are after subsequent generations of stars have forged these heavy elements that make the physical chemistry that's in our bodies. We needed to wait that time to have these ingredients enough to make planets and life and people. So that happened August 31st.
Wow.
And you keep going. And then each day is about 40 million years. So you can ask, when did the dinosaurs go extinct? You go to the museums and you see the bones. You say, boy, that was forever ago. On a cosmic calendar, it was a day and a half ago.
There's still one left.
Okay? It was a day and a half ago. It was like midday, December 30th. That's right. And so it puts it all. Now you ask, well, when were we?
Right.
Okay. So all of recorded human history takes place in the last 15 seconds of the cosmic calendar.
Last 15 seconds.
Yes.
Based on one year being the entire history since the Big Bang.
Correct.
We are merely 15 seconds.
The entire record of any knowledge of who was a human being. So when people
Right.
started taking notes, who were the kings, queens, dynasties, and all the like, that was in the fact, to be precise, 14 seconds.
Can I see this all through my telescope I got with Marlboro Miles?
You got a telescope.
Yes.
Actually, it's a special edition Cosmos telescope, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, special edition. So by Celestron.
Could you talk? It was in the
You're
first
like a good
episode
telescope.
about the planets that are in pitch darkness.
Oh yeah, so we learned.
that's one thing I learned for the first time. Like what?
Yeah. The rogue planets. Yeah, vagabond
rogue
planets wandering
planets.
the solar system. Like what's that ship that the ghost ships in the night.
I actually tried. Pardon me. I tried to actually give him a real scientific answer. You should just put your elbow into my teeth.
No.
He said, "What was that?" I'm like, "Oh, the Voyager, scientist genius."
No, we got Voyager in there too. The farthest piece of hardware ever sent.
Yeah.
And on the side of it is a record. I'll get back to the rogue planets in a minute, but since you brought up Voyager, Voyager was launched in the 70s, and it did a tour of the planets, doing sort of a multi-planet like pool cue shot, where you do a slingshot around one planet, gives you some extra energy, aim it in the right direction upon doing so, and if you plan this out right, you can visit multiple planets with the same amount of energy, with the same.
How do they figure that out?
Launch energy. Yeah, no, it's great.
That's
It's
crazy.
like Newton's laws of physics.
Have you ever been in space?
Never.
Do you want to?
Only if you're going to send me somewhere. I don't. Don't just send me in orbit, boldly going where hundreds have gone before. and wait, and you know the dude Felix Baumgartner.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Edge of space jump. Now it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Let
pretty
the man
impressive.
be the edge of space jump. But let me explain what he did. All right. If you shrink Earth to the size of a schoolroom globe, so you get a sense of how high up he was, ask how high above a schoolroom globe did he jump? 1 millimeter above the surface.
1 millimeter.
1 millimeter above the surface. And so, but no one is from Red Bull is telling you that.
Right.
Are they a
Where would
sponsor? I
space
don't
be?
know.
And if that was the globe, where would actually space begin?
Well, so space, by that definition, is kind of arbitrary. What they're saying we have a functional definition of space. It is the high enough altitude where the atmosphere is not glowing blue, so that there's so little air above you, you can see stars in the daytime sky. That's the reason why you can't see stars. It's not because the sun is so bright. It's because you have air there scattering sunlight. The blue out of the spectrum of sunlight is scattering that. That's why you have a blue sky. You go up high enough, the sky gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and then you have the universe in broad daylight. That, for us, is about 60 miles up. Wow. Okay? So, if you go about 60 miles and up, we call that space. But I don't like that as a definition of space. Because if our atmosphere was thinner, then 30 miles up would be space. Or even thinner, 10 miles up. If we had no atmosphere at all, what, would just be standing here on Earth,
You're
be
in
space?
space, right.
Right. So, when I think of space, I think of orbit. Now you're talking space.
How high before he would have how high would he have had to go if he just jumped out and all of a sudden he's floating? How much higher? would he have to
So
go?
that's the point. You don't float unless you are in orbit. And orbit is the coolest thing that Isaac Newton figured out. So here's what happened. This will take me a minute. Just
don't worry about me. I'm already feeling dumb.
No, you got a minute.
I'm right behind you.
So, all right. If you're in an elevator and I cut the cable, the elevator, and you're standing on a scale, and you weigh, you 150 pounds? What are you?
About 149.5 since the dieting.
So you're squeezing a spring and a scale, and it reads 150 pounds, right? In an elevator. Now I cut the cable. The elevator drops. The scale drops. You drop. You're all dropping at exactly the same rate. The scale no longer reads 150 pounds. It reads 0.
Right.
Everything in that elevator is weightless because you're in free fall towards Earth.
Right.
Until you hit the bottom and then you're dead. All right, unless there's springs and things. But so if you are in orbit, you are going sideways while you are falling towards Earth. You just happen to have sideways motion. And so you are going so fast sideways that for every 10 feet you fall, Earth curves away from you by 10 feet.
Right.
You go 30 feet down, Earth has curved 30 feet. This is the exact speed you have to have.
You're constantly falling
You're constantly
around
falling towards a round
right.
object.
Yeah.
So that's
you're
why
just missing it.
astronauts are weightless.
I gotta go.
Not because they've left the Earth and are floating randomly in space. They are weightless because they are falling towards Earth. So Felix Baumgartner was never weightless until he actually jumped. Well, you jump, you're in free fall.
Right.
You're weightless while you jump.
When the astronauts, and I asked the physicist this week, what
you do that? You just talk to physicists. That's cool.
Yeah, we have
access. How many people
have hookers?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not everybody who has access. How will get to say? Like, I worked this up with a physicist this week.
You're the second one this week.
Yes, we had Brian Green came in.
Brian, he's a good friend.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we know. Yeah,
he's a good guy.
He was cool.
But the astronauts, when they're in space, we always think like, oh my God, they're not dealing with any gravity, and I know that they're falling. But if they were to, like, say, stop falling, what percentage of Earth's gravity would they feel at that height?
Well, so if you just stop their sideways motion,
yeah,
then they would fall straight down instead of sideways down. And they would still be weightless until they encounter the atmosphere. And then the atmosphere would slow them down, and they'd start taking on weight for having done so.
So what percentage of the Earth's gravity is it at that height, like, would you say?
Oh, it's slightly less. Hardly no. You'd be like
negligible.
No, less than a pound.
Yeah.
Less than a pound.
So it's about their experience about 95% of the gravity we are if they weren't falling.
If they were floating there in a hot air balloon, you would feel the weight at that altitude, and they would, if you're 150, you'd be like 148.5 pounds, maybe 149 pounds.
That's why, unless you're in orbit, the Earth would like to have you back.
Yeah, I like that.
It'll just wrap you. And
another thing, if you go up, if you just drop down to Earth, you're not going to burn up. You know why you burn? You know why you burn up coming back?
Speed.
Because you were going 18,000 miles an hour sideways.
Yeah.
All right, and we got to get rid of that energy somehow. And so, fortunately, we have the atmosphere. You say, oh, they need the heat shields, otherwise they'll burn up. They like the heat shields because they don't have to bring fuel to slow down. They're basically aerobraking. It is a feature, not a problem, of returning from space. You just got to make sure you design it so that you don't burn up.
Amazing.
And so you need those heat shields to dissipate the 18,000 miles an hour sideways energy. And if you're just standing up there in space and I drop you, you'll gain speed, but then you'll start feeling the atmosphere and you start to slow down. So you can just drop out of if the space shuttle turned backwards, the former space shuttle turned backwards, fired its rockets so that it lost the energy, the speed, and it was just like zero. It could just fall. It would drop out and land like an airplane. You wouldn't need the heat shields.
It wouldn't be economical.
It wouldn't be economical. You need as much fuel to slow down as they needed to get there in the first place.
Well, yeah.
I never realized that.
Yeah.
I always thought if you kept going up,
no such thing as a free lunch.
I always thought if you kept going up, you'd hit that heat, but I guess not. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
No.
Talk about the rogue
with air molecules.
Talk about the rogue planets.
The rogue, he hasn't made a one-track mind.
You said you would go back. It was such a creepy concept.
We learned recently, last 15 years or so, when we started creating models of planets, of the formation of star systems, you realize, okay, here we are with 8 planets and some debris, Pluto included. All right, get over it here. Okay.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I know. For some people, it's messed up. But if you take in the whole picture, it's actually pretty cool. Yeah. So Pluto is the biggest member of a new swath of real estate known as the Kuiper Belt of icy bodies in the outer solar system. So Pluto's happier there. I'm pretty sure. So if you do this, you say, well, we have these many planets, and did we form that way? You put it on the computer, take a mass of a gas cloud, collapse it, form planets within it, and you end up with 3 or 4 times as many planets as what ultimately give you stable orbits later. And so our solar system probably started with like 30 planets, 20 to 30 planets. Where did they go? They get flung out into space because their trajectories moving around the sun and near other planets is not stable. It's just not stable. And so some will collide with Jupiter, some get slammed back into the sun, others are cast asunder. And it's those that are cast into interstellar space that constitute the vagabond planets, and they may outnumber the planets that have homes. Wow. So these are basically homeless planets. And some of them might still have heat. Earth still has heat. That's why we have volcanoes. That heat doesn't come from the sun. That comes from leftover heat from our formation, plus there's some radioactive decay of elements in our crust, pumping heat in. So that doesn't need the sun. And we always talk about the Goldilocks zone that has the right temperature for liquid water so you have life, because you need heat for that. If you have a planet floating in space and it still has this leftover heat, you don't need the sun. Wow. It'll be frozen on its surface, but go down deep. Maybe there's life thriving deep beneath the frozen
so
surface.
there is life on other planets.
They could very well likely be, given what we know about life and its ingredients.
But do you think we'll discover it in our lifetime?
I'd like to think so. Possibly on Mars or one of Jupiter's moons, Europa. Europa is cool. It's outside of the Goldilocks zone because Jupiter's too far away, but Jupiter's pumping heat inside of it with the stress of its gravity. And when you pump heat inside, you melt the ice. And we're pretty sure Europa has an ocean of liquid water that's been liquid for billions of years. So as I tell people often, I want to go ice fishing on Europa. There's a movie called The Europa Report where they actually took a clip of me talking about Europa, put it in there.
Oh, really?
It was like an actual live clip and about the discovery of life on Europa.
I think I saw that one. Weren't they sending a probe down to go through the ice? And Yeah, I did see that one.
Yeah, and it's water, so every place on Earth you have liquid water, you have life, including the Dead Sea. You know why they call it the Dead Sea? Because they didn't have microscopes. Okay? So just be careful how you name stuff, because typically you name it as in ways derived from the limitations of your physiology.
I thought it was salty. I thought there was the salt in it. Then
no. So there's no macroscopic fishes and things. So people thought that nothing was alive.
Yeah.
They just didn't. Microscope hadn't been invented yet.
Right.
So if they get below the surface, you think they're going to find something that's microbiotic or something?
Yeah. If you go to Europa, so you asking what are the chances we might find life? If I were to sort of rank the places, I'd say maybe subsurface Mars. There could be some places kept liquid, some aquifers. That'd be nice to see, and that's nearby compared with Europa. Europa, that's a long trip to take if you're.
How far is that?
Well, Jupiter's 10
years.
It's 5 times the Earth-Sun distance. So yeah, it's I give it a 10-year.
It's like a genius.
Like as a married guy, like there's. Your wife has to be brilliant to keep up with you. I mean, you're not going to talk like this, and she's going to talk about the housewives.
Well, she has a PhD in mathematical physics.
Yeah, she's got to be. You can't
and we met in graduate school.
Yeah, she's got to be brilliant because when you said,
but maybe
we all talk about the cauliflower or whatever, none of us talk about the cauliflower.
First of all, no one knows what cauliflower is.
Oh my God.
When he was talking about...
If you want to reenact this scene that you're hearing right now at home, just start to listen to an ant talking to you.
Yeah.
If an ant is talking to you, it's the same thing.
That's what Neil has to deal with today.
Neil is dealing with right now. Is if a bug was in your kitchen and started making noises and you had to try to understand what the bug was saying.
To communicate with the worm.
It's got to be brilliant to keep up.
But Neil should be sitting on a bank and talking to Rich and telling Rich, just go ahead, look out across the water, and Rich should be talking about tending the rabbits.
Right.
they try to tear you down
but
and build themselves up.
You know what's more important than knowledge? Wonder.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I wonder why they're still on the air.
No, but he's a pretty hip scientist, though. As scientists go,
yeah, he makes it cool.
You're actually kind of hip and cool. Like if I met you, I wouldn't know you were a fucking genius. You just
I know. Let me just say that I think I got good material. The universe gives you good material. Yeah. But A, B, I'm not the universe. I'm just revealing the universe as I feel it and as I see it.
Right.
So I'm not. So to say that I make it fun, no, it is fun. When I think about falling into a black hole, that's some fun stuff right there, okay? How it spaghettifies you as you get extruded through the narrowing fabric of space-time, all right? That's just inherently awesome to think about.
How many miles do you think it is from like the event horizon into the actual hole? Like how far do you think?
Well, the event horizon technically is what we think of as the hole, because you cross over the event horizon, you ain't coming back out, and if you fall and light doesn't come out, black hole. Period. Wow. So once you're in, that's it. And you go all the way down to the singularity. As, like I said, you're funneling, the fabric of space and time gets narrower. Plus, there's something called the tidal force, the thing that makes tides on Earth, between the Earth and the Moon and the Sun and the Earth. But there's also a tidal force for black holes. As you fall towards a black hole, if you go in a feet first dive, the change in gravity becomes so severe that your feet start getting pulled towards the center of the black hole faster than your head does. And that's okay initially because you feel like you're stretching, right? That's just a good stretch. But then it becomes unrelenting. And then the force, at one point, the force will exceed the intermolecular forces of your tissue of your
there you
body.
go. Now you're just
and then you will snap
disintegrating.
into 2 pieces, likely at the base of your spine. Then the other 2 pieces will snap into 2 pieces, then you become 4, and then 8, and then 16, and you will bifurcate as you descend down to this cosmic abyss. And like I said, that's not even the worst part, because now you're being funneled down to something that's really narrow. And so there you are being stretched head to toe and then squeezed shoulder to shoulder. And this is the extruding that goes on as you descend to a black hole. That's why we call it spaghettification.
For sure. Henry VIII used to torture people like that.
If they had it, they surely would have done it.
What's your conclusion with the Bermuda Triangle?
It's really hard to say.
I got a conclusion.
His conclusion. I'm so embarrassed. I need to go. I want to go because I think this might be contagious.
Bermuda Triangle.
Hold on,
Elmer Fudd.
Have you seen? Excuse me. Have you seen a rabbit?
I swear we're smart, Neil. I swear we're smart.
No, I have a good answer for you. Thank you.
That's a good question.
Don't let them.
I slipped on the word.
We're together here.
I want to hear your conclusion.
You're right at my side. Don't pay no mind to the.
None to pay.
Listen.
There's no mind to pay. Right?
Do you donate your time at a community college? Why are you being so nice to him?
So here's an interesting fact. The Bermuda Triangle. What was it? Bermuda, Miami, and
somewhere in the Bahamas.
Some triangle of Atlantic Ocean where there were ships disappearing and planes disappearing, and people were wondering whether there was something mystical, magical going on there. And so, okay, if you're losing planes, you want to know why. All right? Is it magic or is it not? And so you do the analysis, and what you find out is that triangle had such a highly traversed shipping lane that if you were to find for planes and for ships, that the normal rate that planes crash or that ships sink for the whole world was also happening there. It's just that there were more of them.
That's all that is?
That's all it is. So if you ran through the numbers, it was no more dangerous than any other place in the world. It's just
the
that
probability
the
was
total
higher.
traffic was
more
higher.
accidents are going to happen where there's more traffic
Where
on the road.
Where there's more traffic. And here's another interesting point.
Hilarious.
No one ever talks about missing trains.
What?
Well, if you crash in the fricking ocean, you sink to the bottom. All right, to the bottom of an ocean that's miles deep.
Right.
All right. And so, yeah, for our intents and purposes, you've disappeared. If you could drain the Atlantic, whoa,
you'd see a lot of planes and ships.
Yeah, all the biology would have been eaten, all the human flesh would have been eaten, but the cargo, oh my gosh. In fact, the thing you really want to drain is the Mediterranean. Because suckers have been sailing that thing since, for thousands of years.
Probably quite a bit of wealth down there.
Exactly. From Caesar's time and all the rest of that.
Yeah.
So
the salad guy.
What do you mean missing trains?
No. So
because at Penn Station.
So you can miss. They're missing planes, missing ships.
It's not fair. That
because
wasn't
when they're gone, they sink to the bottom of the ocean and you don't see them.
Right.
Yes, I get that.
No one ever reports a missing train because the train is on
it's not
ground,
magical, is what he's saying.
and you can stare at it.
It's not just going to go missing.
It's not going to disappear.
One says that.
Neil deGrasse.
Salad dressing.
Neil deGrasse Tyson in studio. Cosmos is on. What channel is it on? I just got a copy of this.
So can I tell you? Can I just? Okay. So first, it's on Fox.
Okay.
Fox primetime Sunday night 9 o'clock.
Wow.
And then Fox said we like this show so much that we want to. This is a new word for me. Roadblock the show. Do you ever know the phrase roadblock?
You know what that means? When he gets out of his car.
And then it comes back strong.
I know, yeah. So
but he'll bomb again.
If a network roadblocks a show, they take the rest of their properties, their cable properties, and simultaneously air it on those as well.
Oh,
So it's going to appear on FX, which is a Fox property, FXX. Fox owns 3/4 of National Geographic Television, so that's in their family as well. It's on Nat Geo Wild. It's on Fox Sports 1,
Really?
Fox Sports 2. And then it will repeat on National Geographic in the days to come. And it's in I sound like a commercial here, but you got to hear this. It's 181 countries and 45 languages. It will air within days of the American premiere. And so Fox has made a huge investment in this, in the distribution, and I think the product will live up to the expectations.
I saw it at Straw.
With it.
It looks great.
You know what? I got a great idea. Maybe you bring somebody on like me to teach me as you're going through this stuff.
Exactly. Like this, I brought my friend who I'm going to call Dumb Talking Turtle.
No, so the show is for people who we already got the geeks. I know we got the geeks.
Yeah.
And it's for people who never knew they could or would like science, but it's also for people who are pretty sure they don't like science.
Right.
Well, they can't relate to it. It's for anyone really with the beating heart.
The show's going to do great. You have a great way of explaining things. Well, it was really easy to follow, and it was fun to watch because of the animation and the special effects and stuff.
Opie brought up the fact that what is it? What did you say? He does very well.
Oh, you walk out of frame nicely. You make a dramatic point, and then you continue walking.
Point and then walk off.
And then we're left with the star.
Well, let the universe do the
ocean.
talking. I mean, I could spend the whole time lecturing you, but if we have awesome visual effects.
What you should have done is actually stood, like, whenever the camera went to the star, you should have stood in front of it and just kind of blocked it.
Here I am, you know. It's like, no. So what happened was the original script was wordier than what ultimately came to pass. I was there describing how hot the sun was, because as we dip into the sun, and we even visit a black hole. But then when you realize the visuals were so stunning and so compelling, what the hell am I talking about? Well, you feel the heat of the sun.
Sure.
You know that's a black hole.
Right.
So shut up, Neil. You know, this is what. So we trimmed just the total number of words, and I'm there really to guide the voyage, not to be the voyage.
Could you talk about the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs? That was creepy on the first episode.
Yeah.
I didn't know this either.
Oh yeah.
I know about the asteroid, obviously, but
it's the size, a little bit bigger than the size of Mount Everest, and it slammed into Earth, 66 million years ago, and our mammal ancestors were running underfoot, trying to avoid being hors d'oeuvres for T-Rex, and there we would have stayed had this asteroid not struck.
No, but
so it's a taker away and bringer of life, because it renders the dinosaurs extinct, as well as 70% of all species of life on Earth, and then the early mammals, it opened up an ecological niche so they can evolve to something more ambitious than tree shrews.
But the actual asteroid, didn't you say something how it bounced off another asteroid?
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
reason this happened?
So there's a lot of dynamics.
This
It's a shooting gallery out there, and you have these asteroids, big ones, medium ones, small ones, and some come a little near one versus another. They each have gravity. If you come a little close to me, I'm going to nudge you with my... I don't have to touch you to nudge you, because there's this force at a distance called gravity. And stunning that it exists across the vacuum of space. Think about that. This troubled Isaac Newton. How could one thing affect another, and there's nothing between them? What's going on? There's no rope. There's no tether. There's no hook. So it was a huge mystery to him until Einstein basically figured this out and said the gravity is not really a force; it is the curvature of the fabric of space and time. If you know NASCAR, people say, "Oh, NASCAR drivers always turn left, right? They don't know how to turn right because that's the direction of the track." However, the tracks are banked, so that if you drive on a NASCAR track and you drive at the speed for which the bank is angled, you never have to turn the wheel.
Right. Wow.
You just stay driving forward, and the track turns you all by itself. So too is the curvature in the fabric of space and time. It will curve you even though you think you're going in a straight line. The car thinks it's going in a straight line because you didn't turn the steering wheel. So the only time they turn the steering wheel is to maneuver among the cars. If they're going the right speed, they're not actually turning left to complete the circle.
So you have a planet with mass that affects space.
Yeah, the fabric of space.
The fabric of space. So in essence, the force of gravity isn't really a force. You're almost going down a hill.
You're surfing a hill.
To
a slope.
The mass.
Brilliant.
He's
got it. He's got it.
That's quite amazing.
And so
I'm glad I said that earlier.
so brilliant. Thank you for clarifying. You said it in fewer words than I did.
Sure.
So So what happens is you have an asteroid minding its own business that might not have otherwise been on a collision course with Earth.
And they think that's...
And then another asteroid comes by it, and it gets nudged. It doesn't nudge by the force of gravity into a trajectory that 65 million years ago collided with Earth.
And they think this
is the extreme contingency of life on Earth.
And they think this is what happened.
Where did it collide? Do they know where?
Oh
it
yeah,
hit?
yeah. We found the spot. And by the way,
the Yucatan Peninsula.
The Yucatan Peninsula, in what is now Mexico.
Cocoa Beach.
Really? You know what's cool? I got to tell you this. I described this to a whole room of people. And I tried to be funny, and I said, this asteroid struck at the Yucatan Peninsula of what is now Mexico. And I said, although that's not what the dinosaurs called it back then. I thought I was being cute, right?
Boy.
And someone in the front row said, no, they called it Mexico.
Wow.
He's cracking himself up.
No, it was good. I thought that was good. The dinosaurs spoke Spanish and pronounced it right.
Doesn't it seem odd?
So right there, what they found, and by the way, this was with the help of oil drillers, people who look for anomalies in the crust of the Earth to see where there might be repositories of oil. In so doing, they found a ridgeline that was 150 miles in circumference, and this ridgeline, they tracked it around and it completed an entire circle. And you go down there and get and date the rocks 65 million years ago. Wow! So we say yes, there's the smoking gun, the crater left over from the asteroid that struck.
Is there any of the original asteroid in there? Like any pieces of it, teeny pieces?
No, I mean there may be, but it's in the Gulf, and so plus most of the asteroid would be vaporized upon impact with the Earth. You get maybe a few percent of the total mass that just happened to fall off, but we're talking about 65 million years ago, and it's not.
And it's my point is it's pure luck we're here because that asteroid just had a little bump or whatever.
Correct, and what would happen is if the asteroid didn't hit, dinosaurs would surely still be here,
to this day.
We wouldn't. Oh yeah, because they were around. You want to mine?
You could say the F word.
No.
Well, he doesn't want to, but it was fun watching him realize when he backed himself out.
No, that was a moment.
There's been a couple of times where I thought shit was going to come out. Motherfucker was going to come out.
No, okay. You tell me whether it's worth. You tell me whether this earns it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you look at the tenure that dinosaurs enjoyed on Earth, they were around for 200 million years before the asteroid struck. Wow. And it's only been 65 million years since.
Wow.
So given that fact, there is no reason to presume that they wouldn't still be here.
They wouldn't be here.
They were just unlucky. They didn't have a space program to deflect the asteroid. So it is likely that if the asteroid did not strike, they would still be here, and we wouldn't. Now, maybe would they have technology? Would they be in this booth doing a radio show?
And probably have more listeners.
They would say something like, aren't we lucky that asteroid didn't strike?
But wait,
Whereas you're saying, aren't we lucky that it did?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, we only have a couple minutes, but someone wants you to talk about the discovery of water. Wait, no. The alien okay, yeah. Can you touch on the theory that aliens are at the bottom of the ocean? Oof.
Is
that one of your things?
I hadn't heard that one.
Oh, okay.
No,
I wasn't sure if that was something you were...
What is true is that there's surely, there are surely species of fishes thriving at the bottom of the ocean that are uncatalogued and unknown to biologists. So we know so much more about our solar system than the oceanographer knows about the bottom of the ocean. Wow. In fact, it's more dangerous to visit the bottom of the ocean than it is to visit space. The pressure difference between your vessel and space is 1 atmosphere. The pressure difference between your vessel and the bottom of the ocean is 30 atmospheres, 50 You go down, your vessel, you're ready to die.
Right.
Be ready to die. Going down to the Marianas Trench off of the Philippines, the deepest part of Earth's crust. So
how deep?
It's 30,000 feet down. It's as far deep into our crust as Mount Everest is high.
Oof. And what is Jupiter's gravity is so intense. What's the difference between Jupiter's gravity and that?
Okay, well, the problem is you can't just stand on Jupiter and pull out your scale and weigh yourself because it's gaseous. And plus Jupiter's large, so you're actually far away from the source of gravity how you calculate the gravity. So if you're 150 pounds, I forgot the number. You're not as heavy as you think you would have been. Like you might be 400 pounds or something. You're not going to be like thousands and thousands of pounds. And Jupiter and Saturn are actually very low density because they're made of mostly gas. Saturn has such low density, it's less dense than water. So, in fact, Saturn could float if you had a bathtub big enough. And when I was a kid, I said, I don't want the rubber ducky, I want a rubber Saturn, so that it could float.
And be accurate. An accurate depiction.
Exactly.
You didn't say that as a kid.
I swear to you I said that as a kid.
Did you go to a regular school?
Yeah, PS. All my schools had a PS in front of it.
Are you from New York?
Born and raised in New York City, in the Bronx. Went to PS 36 in the East Bronx for like kindergarten.
You still live here?
Yeah, I live in Manhattan now. And then went to PS 81.
You were like 12 years old in college, right?
No. And then went to junior high school 141, and then to the Bronx High School of Science.
What a great statement for the New York City school system.
Yeah, well, I think that, and Bronx Science is a public school, and one of our proudest points is that Bronx Science counts 8 Nobel laureates among its graduates.
And 7 Jews, my people. Big Nobel.
All right, then. Neil's got to go for real.
No, he's actually right. A fourth of all Nobel Prizes given in the sciences have gone to Jews.
Oh. Yeah. And what about medicine? You want to go there, too?
That was great.
Medicine, I'm counting that in the sciences.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
exactly.
Dummy. Yeah, human physiology and medicine is a category of the Nobel Prizes.
Blows it.
Yeah.
I know. Just when you had him on your side, you had to ruin it with your pro-Semitism.
Neil.
Pro-Semitism. Great phrase.
Neil is not allowed to have that here.
What I would try to caution people is the more you cite the achievements of others with whom you associate, the less you're admitting that you have less to talk about for yourself.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Right.
He's basically killing parades.
What you're trying to do is bask in the luminosity of others with whom you associate, and so that some of that luminosity would be shed upon you. And what I would encourage
you went from scientist to doctor to therapist. Now I really feel stupid.
What I would encourage people, rather than say, "Oh, these are my people or my country," I would encourage people to be the luminosity yourself.
And believe me,
well, they are when other people talk about.
And I slightly violated because I said the Bronx Science had 8 Nobel laureates, but to make a point that's as many Nobel laureates as the country of Spain has. And so I want to make a point that it's not a given that at any time and place your nation or your culture puts forth great achievers. And it takes investments, it takes nurturing. And in the Jewish community, you have that. By the way, it's not the entire Jewish community.
No, I know.
Okay, it's subsets of the Jewish community that value learning and creative thinking. So just remember, America may have had its day, and maybe we're fading now.
And as much as you're saying don't associate yourself with the Jews, believe me, the Jews agree with you. They do not want Vos admitting that he's Jewish. Every time he talks, they're like, just shut up and convert. They're sending him like Jehovah's Witness and Catholicism pamphlets.
Plus, he's fully tattooed. You're not allowed to do that.
That's true. Well, first of all, they were free.
In the Bible it says tattoos okay if it's free. Mutilated, but free mutilation of your body.
That's bull about the tattoos, because if you couldn't get into a cemetery for defacing your body, not one Jew would be in a cemetery because of facelifts, ear piercings. That's defacing your body.
And what about the circumcision? That's kind of defacing your body as well.
He doesn't like them.
It's a little loophole right there, isn't it?
But I agree with what you're saying about not putting anybody in a pedestal.
All right, we got to let him go. We got to let him go.
I love this.
I've been trying to do this for 5 minutes.
And you're agreeing with him. I agree. Space is big. All right, good. Well said, Rich. Poor guy.
It's big. Time is vast. Right, there you go.
It's a great ending, and Dummy's going to ask 9 more questions.
Neil is very busy. He truly has to go. They're panicking outside the studio. I've been trying to cut him off.
Guys, thanks. Great being on the show again. Thanks for calling me.
To meet you. Opie, let's give the plug real quick. It's 9 o'clock on Fox on Sunday and a bunch of other channels. And just go to Neil Tyson at Twitter, and he will have all the information.
I want to say it again.
That'll be at Neil Tyson on Twitter.
I want to say
Put
again.
That in front of the Neil Tyson.
I saw the first episode. It was. I'm in big time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Exactly. We're still talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson's appearance. Bob Kelly has a very, very good observation. You want to bring it to the people?
Yeah, Rich Vos is a fucking blithering, never-ending idiot that doesn't take a hint. All right, we're wrapping up. He's got to go. One more question.
I know.
Fucking let it go.
He was my pal.
It's like you've never done radio. We've been here. When Opie goes, all right, thanks for coming in, shut the fuck up.
First of all, let me tell you something, fucking idiot. Sometimes
Because you're not getting the same messages as I am. So people scream in our ear like, holy fuck, he's got to go, he's got to go. So I'm like trying to wrap it up. And then I sound like an idiot because now I'm interrupting people.
No, you don't, we all get when you go, all right, when you say the word all right,
that's it.
After an hour of conversation with a guy, everybody in here, except for fucking bird chirping fucking douche, thumb-fingered, cock-sucking, fucking mush mouth, fucking sleeve douchebag.
And the only reason I say all right is because we're getting pressure in our ears.
I know, but we all shut up.
But
then that's when fucking he hasn't said a word in fucking a half hour. So let me ask, first of all.
Yeah. So here, let me say this, and two things.
Could you wear your headphones the right way?
I got them.
I hate when he doesn't wear his headphones.
Let me say
pops
this.
one way on top like he's a rapper or something.
And be honest, a lot of times when you're rapping a show, all of a sudden you'll keep going or throwing something in. So you get the vibe like,
but not
we
time and time again.
You're just anticlimactic. It was this great interview. There was a couple zings, a couple bombs.
I got some good
the
lines.
Love Boat thing didn't really go over with my racist friend
No, we're all nervous.
Right? All right.
No, we talked about that during the break. It was a very good line, but we were very nervous.
I get it. So, but it was perfect. It was just great, and he did this thing, and he talks great, and he tells us the thing, and then he goes, all right, okay, and then anyway, like it never.
Can you explain the universe? It's always a question that takes it has to take 10 minutes.
No,
it's not a quick yes or no question.
Here's the problem with Bobby.
An apple that fell out of a tree?
Here's
Is that how we got it?
Isaac Newton, could you explain him?
Why was Einstein's hair so crazy?
Here's the problem.
Isaac invent the fig.
Here's the problem with Bobby.
Bobby? I'm agreeing with Bobby on this one.
We're all saying this.
Okay,
don't just single me out because I'm a little overweight, you fucking mean person.
It has nothing to do with weight. Here's the problem.
You had
Bobby,
9 planet jokes.
Listen, when I had one. I said one planet joke. Here's the problem.
From your roadblock.
That was very fun. Here's the problem. Bobby is so dumb. When the guy was talking, Bobby's eyes were just like, he's so dumb. Yeah. So now it's Bobby's.
Finish the sentence.
You were
How is he dumb? You said twangle.
I didn't say twangle.
And you asked him what his fucking conclusion was. You fucking shit dick. Oh, I fucking dumb. You're dumber. You're so dumb it makes me angry. Like I'm fucking mad at you because you're dumb. I want you to get help. Next year's Patrice benefit is to raise money for stupid. We're taking all the money and the watch money that we fucking get from selling those. And we're sending him to school.
Because then we all look at, I don't know, then we all get embarrassed.
It sounds comfortable.
Because he knows we're all friends.
What's your conclusion on the theory? Fucking
What's your conclusion?
What's your conclusion? What the fuck is this, a board game with your kids? You fucking mumph. I hate you. I fucking love you, Rich, but you fucking make me violently angry with your stupid word choice.
He did come up with some good theories and answers on the Bermuda Triangle. But
then you asked about the train.
The train.
You didn't even understand his concept.
But what about the missing train?
Where'd they go?
Oh, I thought he was going to come up. I thought he was going to say that some trains were missing.
No, that's
he was making the point that you don't have trains disappearing, so why would planes and ships disappear? Or are they just sinking to the bottom of the ocean? But all of a sudden you go, well, what about the train?
I don't like that.
Disappearing?
He asked it after he explained it.
Yes,
it's not that he asked it at the beginning. He just fucking
after
told
the explanation.
I was daydreaming.
About what?
God.
Huh? About what?
And what was the fuck? And what was the cauliflower thing?
He said, he said something about. He goes, "When we're all
was that a cooking joke? I don't even know."
He said we're all sitting around talking the cauliflower theory. Was it cauliflower?
No,
or was
it
it
wasn't.
you said
Holy shit,
cauliflower.
you said cauliflower.
What did he say? Something
hate
serious.
him. If we don't do something about this, we're going to lose a friend. You understand that? One of us is going to fucking kill him someday. It violently fucking makes me mad. Cauliflower conclusions. This fucking dumb cunt.
Cauliflower
Makes me
about?
angry.
When we're all talking something theory, and I want to say
Something theory?
something theory.
Now, let me ask you about the
it's
something
Einstein
theory.
something theory.
Yeah, okay, you guys can make jokes,
What's
but
your
I came up.
hypothesis of the cauliflower incident?
Wait, what's the cauliflower? Maybe that wasn't the word.
Incident.
You
Listen,
said cauliflower.
Voss, none of us wanted to make fun of you. We didn't want to
Yes.
call you stupid. We were all quiet. We just wanted to hear this genius talk, ask some questions,
I asked him a couple.
and you fucking speak and you bury yourself with your stupid wrong words, you dumb hand. And first of all,
Explain the asparagus nebula.
Holy shit, Rich.
Then he just starts talking about
fucking
Jews
great.
with the guy.
Oh, then
Well,
he's got
'cause
to
he
bring up
won
the
a Nobel
Jews.
Prize.
Yes, that was all after the interview was done.
I get it, but it's not like I sit here and just eat donuts and pizza so you can just make fun of me being
Right.
fat the whole time.
I didn't make- I made two
sip
jokes
coffee
about
and
it.
I drink water, so I don't give you ammunition. But you just open your dumb mouth. Fucking cauliflower experiments.
Wait, first
And
of
then he's
all,
bragging about Jews with the guy.
what the fuck?
He's a
You want
black
to hear
guy. You
Nobel
don't
Prizes?
care.
Yeah, because we both, we're two struggling,
He's not struggling at all.
No, he's just
not struggling.
fine.
He's struggling to understand your question. That's
He is
it.
just
The
fine.
cauliflower
good.
incident.
We're good.
He should study your brain instead of the universe.
Oh, if I would
And I
love
have to see Rich
That's pretty
lean
good.
over to
Huh?
Bobby and
That's all
start
right.
laughing
I like
and
that.
whispering at the black hole thing. right. I just see Rich like, that's a good joke here that I'm not saying.
Every time there was a fucking joke like that, he'd look at me
I
wide-eyed.
know. Rich is like, well, yeah, when he said, and slide into the black hole, and Rich is like, I got a good one.
I had a lot. I held back.
I know you
I know,
held
that's-
back.
that's
We
the
all
point
did.
it's now making.
We
Yeah.
all did. Oh,
Yeah, we
boy.
all were holding back, except for me, a couple times. I fucked up. Oh my god!
Oh, is that
fucking
funny,
conclusion.
Yeah, what's your conclusion?
Wait, people are coming up with other ones.
Oh, I love
You
it.
got to take this, Rich. Tony in Cleveland. Tony.
Hey, Rich, love you as a comedian, hate you as a freaking intelligent person. I know where you got cauliflower from. He was talking about the aquifers on Mars.
No, but he said when we all...
Aquifer, cauliflower.
No. He said when we're all talking about something.
Goldilocks. Goldilocks was in there,
Goldilocks
too.
and aquifers.
Yeah.
Oh, the Goldilocks theory or something.
Goldilocks theory?
No, he said we're all talking... He said something like when we're all sitting around talking about... God damn, I wish I knew what it was.
Yeah, of course. We wish you did too. We wish you listened, absorbed.
Our pal Justin Stengel has a great line. I can't steal it.
What is it?
He goes, Bonnie, aliens are stealing trains. Justin rules.
I only fly because the trains get stolen by UFOs.
I heard a physicist told me once.
Yeah, there was a
don't take
cauliflower
trains.
experiment in Roswell.
Bonnie.
Cauliflower.
Fucking what?
I don't even know what the cauliflower thing is still.
I fucking hate the word conclusion now. I'll never use it. I fucking
What's
hate
your
it.
conclusion?
Conclusion?
What would I have said there?
Nothing. Nothing would have been good.
Nothing was probably the best
He
course
gave
of
a
action.
great theory on the Bermuda Triangle because we all
He
been
did.
wondering about it.
That's
You
true.
should
It's just a
fucking-
high traffic area.
I've never
Literally
heard
have
that theory
super glue in your
before.
pocket and put it right in your lips anytime you do a fucking show.
God.
High
A little
traffic
wordy, but
area.
I got it out.
We set up a bit for Rich today.
What was it called?
Is Sam still around?
The cauliflower
Have you
experiment?
Have you ever seen him name celebrities?
No.
It's one of my favorite things.
I haven't done that in a while.
I know. We set one up for you today.
Fucking Rich.
Now, will cheese sauce affect the cauliflower conclusion?
My wife, shut up. I want to hug Bonnie every time I see her. I really do. Just a fucking
doesn't.
Oh,
saint.
that poor girl.
Oh, my God.
Does Mars do this bit too, right? You and Mars did it last time? Because Mars is...
Is Mars a planet?
Oh, yeah. It's Mars.
Yeah. Sam's coming down the hall. We'll figure
How
it
do
out.
they know the black hole?
The simpleton questions are just the best.
What was the word he fucked up on? What do you call it? The fluzza? What did he say? What did his mouth just fall apart on?
Many.
After the conclusion, what's your conclusion on the what? The Twizzler theory?
The Bermuda Triangle.
He said triangle.
This motherfucker is 50.
You can't say triangle.
He literally pays his mortgage by speaking to other human beings. And he said triangle. On one of the #1 fucking shows. This is when you should have your shit together.
Wait, can I answer that? He said triangle to a genius.
Yes.
Do you understand how
in a room full of the Viper comedians. Literally, we are the fastest guns in the fucking West. We should have shot you, okay? And you said conclusion and triangle. You should have to. You should have to quit the business for 6 months.
To an astrophysicist.
He should be suspended from work for 6 months.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wait, this guy knows about the cauliflower incident. Let's go to... Oh, it's a girl. Sorry, Karen, I didn't see the name. Karen in California.
Hi, guys. Yeah, they were talking about the Kuiper Belt.
Oh, you think Kuiper Belt was it? Cauliflower?
No. I don't know where he fucking got cauliflower.
I'm going to have to listen to the replay and try to figure it out.
He said, all I know is he said, when we're all sitting around talking about something.
Yeah, that's all you know. You're a genius. Yeah, your IQ is off the fucking chart.
Here's what we'll do.
Yeah.
You pick a day.
Let's do that conversation over again without you.
We'll do that. We'll do the IQ test that I took online, me and Bobby, and we'll see who scores higher.
Here's the difference. Here's why that doesn't work.
Why?
I never, ever said I was a genius.
Oh, that's true.
I've never said I was anything smart at all. Okay. You run around saying you're a fucking genius, which fucking infuriates people.
I'm like a savant.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't buy those online IQ tests either.
No, I buy them.
Auntie, this one's tough. I'll show it to you.
I buy them, just not alone in a room, and then we have to trust you.
Listen, I'm telling you, this one is real.
If you showed me shemale porn and said, "Did you watch it?" I'd say no. No, I didn't watch any of it. No, here's a link to a nice fucking chick with a dick. I'm not into that. I don't watch that.
All right, we have something for Rich today. Sam is in the studio.
It's a young Sam.
What's a bullet?
Yeah. he
Oh, look at that.
Voss, man. God damn.
Oh, it was too good, man.
He's the best. Doesn't know how to end the fucking segment.
You really are the best, Rich.
I would love to see a talk show. It just goes on and on into commercials.
Yeah. With Rich just asking.
We'll be back in a second, but before we go, where'd you get those shoes?
Right. That's all he says. Self-serving. All right.
Real quick before I forget, Norton will be in
Ontario.
I almost said Irvine.
No, Ontario, California, Improv.
Right.
This weekend, he just flew out now.
Do you have to sneeze into the microphone? Did you have to blow your nose into the microphone?
Directly into it.
Directly.
Yeah,
why not?
Oh.
All right,
what
well.
do we got? This is going to be fun. I can tell it's going to be fun because I can see fucking... Anytime something's going to be mean and fun, Sam is glowing.
Absolutely. Well, Sam's got pictures of celebrities, and we've learned over the years that Rich has a tough time naming celebrities. So we're just going to show a picture, and all Rich has to do is tell us who it is. That's it. Right, Sam?
Right. It's got to be easy.
Are you ready for the first one?
Yeah, the first one.
All right. Oh.
Never fucking seen her.
Come on.
Who is? Give me an initial.
She was
Addams Family.
Yeah,
right, as a kid, she was in the Addams Family.
Oh, that's Wednesday.
Wednesday Addams.
Rettina Ricci.
I take it all back. I love Rich Voss. I don't hate him.
Rettina Ricci.
Rettina Ricci. What the fuck? What the fuck are we doing?
That's the black Christina Ricci.
All right, what's the next one?
The black Rettina.
Yeah.
Rettina.
Okay, that one.
This is an easy one.
All right, this is the one married to Brad Pitt.
Right, this is just an easy one.
This is easy.
Angelina Jolie.
Very good.
There you go.
Perfect. Very good.
Nice.
That's good.
Let's give him a bell.
Next one, Sam.
There's another big name in comedy. That's easy.
Oh, fucking, it's not Kristen Wiig, because I like her. That's Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler.
No, he said, they'll give him that.
Poehler.
He said Poehler.
Poehler.
He finally.
These are easy. These are fucking easy.
Next one, Sam.
You're 1 for 3.
You're 1 for 3.
Amy Poehler, I got right.
You said Poehler.
No, I got caught up.
Very topical.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Oh, that's the fucking
he
guy.
just won an Oscar.
He won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. He's got like a real... He's a dreamboat, but...
He really is.
Did you see that French golfer? Oh. Give me a... Oh, my God. This guy is heavenly. What's his first name? And I can maybe give you his last.
He was in My So-Called
40.
Life.
He was in Dallas.
Lead singer of what is it? 30
Seconds to Mars.
Seconds to Mars.
That was a band?
It is a band.
He's a singer, too?
He's a singer of, yes.
First name starts with a J.
Jackeen. I have no idea.
Right, no, close. You're close.
No
You're good.
idea.
Go.
I couldn't even tell you. It'll come out stupid if I say it.
Just say it.
I don't know.
Jared.
Jared. Laggio.
That's it. That's it. We got it.
Jared Laggio.
He's Italian.
Jared
He's
Laggio.
Italian.
Like speaking with the vegetables, it's Jared Lettuce.
Jared Laggio. Collagino.
One of the hottest women there is.
Let me see. I can't see.
Married to Tom Brady.
Yes.
Giselle. Gazelle. She goes by Gazelle. That's it. She doesn't have a last name.
No, she absolutely has a last name.
Well, I just call her Gazelle.
Because you're
What's her
a
last
fucking...
name?
Her last name starts with a B.
Oh, Brady.
Gazelle Brady.
Wow.
Gazelle Brady.
Tom Brady's wife.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's wife.
She's fucking hot.
Her last name starts with a B. What is it? No, they just goes by Gazelle.
Gazelle.
Is this being
Or
recorded?
is it Giselle? Giselle or Giselle?
Sam?
Speaking of big names in comedy.
Her.
Oh, that's the girl from fucking.
She's got a sitcom with her
I know.
own name as the title of it.
You're giving me hard Indian names. No one knows those names.
This is a very well-known person.
Yeah, she's on.
She's on The Office.
Yeah, and she was also in Bridesmaids. Maybe no,
I don't think
but
so.
she has her own show right now.
What's it called?
Mini something.
Mini what?
Mini something.
Okay. Mini from the...
No, Mini something. I don't fucking know her name.
Right, from the Mindy Project.
Mindy Project.
Oh, okay. Mindy.
Yeah.
Another big name in comedy. This one's an easy one.
Oh, that's the girl from Girls.
Oh, yeah. Right, kind of the girl of the moment right now.
I was at a Thanksgiving dinner with her boyfriend who plays in the band.
That's right. What was her name?
Oh, why did I forget it? I know her. Oh, Lena Dunham.
Hey!
Got one.
Oh, another topical one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kate Blanchett.
Very good.
Okay.
Fucking love her.
You're on a roll.
All right, let's see if we can keep the roll going. Another famous Hollywood actor.
I don't. He was in.
The Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker. He was also in the one recently where the guy gained the weight.
Yes.
You know.
American Hustle.
American Hustle. He
Right.
played New Jersey governor or whatever the fuck.
But what's the actor's name is the
I
question.
couldn't tell you in a million fucking years.
Okay, it starts with a J.
Oh, Jared Leto.
No, that's... Wow.
Who's that?
Oh, my God.
Jared, who was that?
Oh, my God.
Easy one.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's fucking... the fucking Puerto Rican.
Please say Julio Iglesias.
He was in Tu Wong Fu.
I know. He looked...
All right, what's his name?
Oh.
Patrick Swayze. Wesley
I forget his name.
Snipes
I know him like... Just give me an initial.
It's even better than an initial. It's a J. That's the sound a J makes.
I know. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Right. But it's going to stay right there.
Jared Leto.
That's, John Leguizamo.
All right.
Hey.
Last one up.
Knocking this shit out, man. You can't fuck with me when it comes to pop culture.
I don't even think you're 500.
Last one up.
Oh. Angelica Houston.
Very good.
All right.
Wow.
You know what's funny about the Angelica Houston one?
Bonnie didn't think you would get that one.
Wow.
What do you mean, Bonnie? You talked to Bonnie today?
Right. Bonnie's in on this.
What are you fucking doing? What do you mean you talked to Bonnie?
I got some tips.
Why are you getting mad, dude?
Because she thinks I don't know pop culture.
Well, you don't. You know Angelica Houston, but you don't know who Jared Leto is.
You called fucking Jared Leguizamo.
What did I call him?
You called him. You called. I don't know what you called Jared Leto. You called him Jared
Lolito.
No,
I didn't.
And then you called John Leguizamo Jared Leto or Jeremy Renner. Jeremy Renner.
He did pretty good today.
He didn't do too bad.
He didn't do bad.
He's done worse.
Well.
He's done worse.
Yeah.
Did Bonnie call you and say do this? Or you
don't have to worry about that.
There's nothing going on with Sam and Bonnie.
Oh, I know that. I don't care.
No, you don't know that. That's why you brought it up.
Yeah, you're all nervous.
We all know, but
Retina Ricci.
Why you
That was my
Christina
favorite.
Ricci.
Oh.
Retina Ricci.
That was my favorite.
I like that name better.
Weetina.
Let's go home.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
I actually got to go to a Muppets screening right now.
Oh, whoa.
With the kids?
With the kids.
Oh, you're
That
lucky.
sounds fun.
The kids, so I got to get out of here. But
Is Minnie in it?
if you guys want to stay with Sam, you're more than welcome, obviously.
I will stay. I'll stay with you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so these guys are going to continue with Sam, but what's the big plug? You got the live podcast this coming Tuesday.
My Wife Hates Me podcast, Village Underground, 7:30. Ron Bennington, guest marriage counselor, stand-up comedy, podcast, counseling, and Saturday at the Mohegan Sun I will be. Norton will be in Ontario
And
at the Improv.
Go to thecomedycellar.com for those tickets. They're going fast. I just checked. So if you're going to go Tuesday night, 7:30, Village Underground, I'm going to be at the Bushnell Theater in Hartford, Connecticut, Friday night.
That's a great
If you're
theater.
having a hard time to buy tickets, I don't know. A bunch of people just emailed me, but they are available.
So you go see Bobby Friday at the Bushnell and head over to Mohegan Saturday.
Great. Bobby, can you take us out as Artie Lang? I hear you do a good Artie Lang.
It takes me a minute to this. Rich Voss is. Hey, it's Artie Lang. How you doing, Anthony? How are you? How are you? I was going to Nick DiPaolo's house. I don't know where he's been. This guy's fucking stupid, Rich Voss. I love you, Voss, though. Come on my show anytime you want. No. It's not that good today.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's not that good, though.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
I
having me on.
appreciate
I'm not
it. Thanks.
signing shit, Roland. Get away from me.
The Opie and Anthony Show is drawn to a close. Stay tuned to reflect, relive, and get the story behind the story of the finest moments of today's show. Sam Roberts, Opie and Anthony.